Alright, hello gamers, welcome back to the show. I'm your charming, self-proclaimed yet still humble host, Mukluk. Today we are back in the wonderful world of Guild Wars 2. Because it is Guild Wars Tuesday, the day of the week that we always dedicate to Tyrion. Welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. What happened at the Did He Sell That clip? It was a, what was it? I think it was a precursor? I don't know, it was a legend or precursor. During a giveaway, my muscle memory kicked in and I sold something out of pure habit. And then I frantically had to quickly buy it back, so I lost some money there, because I was about to give it away, not sell it. And it was, not intended. It was not intended. Hinkelberg says, do you think they'll ever add Dwarves to Guild Wars 2? Or perhaps save it for Guild Wars 3? We don't even know if they're making a Guild Wars 3 or not. Guild Wars 2, I don't think they will, because they've never added any race to Guild Wars 2 since the game came out. So I do not think they will add Dwarves or anything else race-wise to Guild Wars 2 at this point. If they did, I would be pleasantly surprised, but I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. We have Dwarves? Yeah, but I think he meant playable ones.
Can I please have a burger with fries and a month without ads?
I can give you half of that. Thank you. Hello, Micah Chad. Hi, Goddess. Bearded says, I'm trying to heal druid for strikes. I wanted to review your guides. Newest I found for PvE on your YouTube is from 2 years ago. Do you think it's still good or have a newer? That is my most recent guide on druid. Right when I made that guide, like the next week, they changed the druid system a bit. So there's one chunk of that guide that is different now, and it's how you provide alacrity. At the time that video came out, I believe you provided alacrity by spamming spirits. Now you provide alacrity by hitting people with astral skills like this. So you can see there's alacrity right there. Other than that, the rest of that video, all the little tips and tricks and stuff I put in there, that's all still accurate. But just the method that you provide alacrity is different than when that video was out. Is your PC stuff fixed? Short answer, I don't know, but I'm trying. The long answer is in the announcement channel of the Discord with all the details of where I'm at with that. I'm working on it. Did you buy the sword back or pull it off the sell list? I had to buy it back. Wait, no, hold on a sec. Did I? No, I'm sorry. Correction. I'm pretty sure I had to just cancel the sale. No one had bought it yet, but I did lose quite a bit of gold because I posted it and then I lost the listing fee. That's what it was. Why do we sometimes see the interface for your Asura friend? Oh. Hold on, I see what's going on. It's really weird. So, the window was behind the game. And whenever I would mouse over where the window was in the game, it would display it. So I need to just put him over here in timeout. I need to put him on the other monitor. He's weird like that sometimes. Here, you can have a coffee. Dwarves are now stone, so no new dwarves are made. Well, I mean, you would think, but we keep finding more dwarves showing up. But, yeah, I don't think there's enough of them to have them a playable race. But also, I don't think they're adding any playable races to the game. They haven't before. I feel like they would if they could. I'm guessing it's, like, too deep in the spaghetti code or something. Mini Muck can time out, poor guy. That's okay, he's got a drink. Of course he's weird like that. Look who he's modeled after. That makes me think he needs his own knife. WoW has playable stone dwarves. WoW has playable foxes. Like, there's a lot of options. You can play robot gnomes. They got a lot of options. Doesn't really change my statement, though. That, it's too deep in the spaghetti code. If they do ever make a Guild Wars 3, hopefully they, leave the base code a little more open so that they can more easily add stuff later on. if they decide to go that route. All these race options, whatever shall I do? Human warrior, please. Male human warrior. The werewolves? No. Yeah, World of Warcraft has the Worgen. Those are the werewolves. I was talking about those little fox people. The ones that are the brunt of a lot of furry jokes. Volpera. Yeah, that one. Muck True Ending Hades 2 done. No, but we made a lot of progress yesterday. Still trying to find those fates. Do you think there could ever be a full deep sea underwater map in Guild Wars? Or would they need to rework the underwater combat for something like that? The underwater combat in Guild Wars 2 is amazing. However, they've not touched it in a very long time. Like, it's amazing because it was amazing at the launch of the game, not because they've done anything with it in the last 10 years. So, it could use a update. Certain classes do not work underwater, like Mechanists.
Hey, look, it's the Tree of Birds. How are you?
And some of them make a little sense. Like, Willbender's all about martial arts, and I can't imagine that would work very well underwater. But the Mechanist mech not working underwater is kind of silly when all the other pet classes' pets work underwater. So there's certain classes that would need to get, like, a revisit and see if they could fix things. Boop. You said you did IT support. Were you coding? No, I was not in coding. I was on the phones. I was the front line of defense. So I was like, you know, everything from did you try to turn it off and on again to, you know, could we try to fix it in a few hours? So I was basically like tier 1 or tier 2 help desk. Since I'm new to the channel, can you explain the lore behind your hate for Guardian? Oh, God. It's envy. Since you're new to the channel, I'll pull back the curtain a bit. A lot of it's jokes. But I would say about 5 years of Guild Wars 2. Guardian, specifically Firebrand, was like unapologetically the strongest support class. Like, they had one of the only sources of stability. And it was 10-man. Stand Your Ground was 10-man. And they had a ton of other applications from Firebrand. They had one of the only sources of Aegis. So, like, if you tried to make a group to do fractals or something, and you were a heal druid or heal tempest, people would often not join. Or be like, oh god, no. And then they would just leave. So, like, Firebrand was just, like, the only support that could really do anything in PvE for years. And they never nerfed it. All they did, it's like, here's Firebrand, here's everybody else. All they did was do this. They buffed the others a bit. So, it comes from a place of, like, are you kidding me? It was like, you know, there was the favored child for a very long time. Yeah, there's really never been a time in Guild Wars 2 history that Guardians were not, like, OP in some way. It's just how much OP are they? Good day, beautiful people. What's up, Soap? Kind of still is a bit the favorite child, just not quite the golden child anymore. Yeah, it's a silver child. Question Muck, do you think they should standardize Boon range to 600, or would that be a detriment to the game? No, I think that would be wonderful. I also think that Boon applications should be turned down a bit. So, like, for example, on my druid, each time I provide alacrity, it's for 1 second. So I have to provide it very, very rapidly to keep it up. Rather than do 10 applications every 10 seconds in a close range, if we had a longer range, I'd also rather just do, like, you know, like, maybe the first time I use an astral skill, with a 10-second cooldown, it will give alacrity for 10 seconds. You know, something like that, so it's not as spammy. Yeah, I think that would be fine. Makes sense. I've been messing with it in PvP for the first time, the Bunker Druid meta. I'm going to drug support Firebrand. Yeah, like, there's not really any place where it's bad. Basically, bring spirits providing a lack back. The funny thing is when they did that patch, I remember specifically, they said, you know what? You should not have to spam your abilities to keep up a boon. And we're like, yeah! And they're like, so we're gonna take the alacrity off spirits. And we're like, yeah! And they're like, and we're gonna put it on astral skills. And we're like, wait, what? No, go back, go back, go back. Okay, hold on. What? So now we have to go into astral form and waste like all our biggest heals and on, you know, our glyphs and stuff in order to provide alacrity. I was like, wait, this is worse than before. Mike, do you already decide what class you'll be playing for VOE? Unless I see some like really impressive stuff for like ritualist changes, like since the beta, probably just gonna be staying on Untamed. I didn't really fall in love with playing any of the new things. The closest one I did was Writ, but I really don't like that they basically just gave it Mesmer Shatters. The ones I get really frustrated at is when you have to make a nice utility skill just to upkeep a big boon. Yeah, that's Heal Scrapper. Your self-heal provides some prot to the party. Your revive, function gyro, revives some prot to the party. And your Aegis on shortbow provides prot. And you have to constantly burn 2 of those to keep the protection up. Pre-order link. I got you. It is... Nope, that's not it. Wrong button. Alright, there we go. That's it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Greetings, Bucket Chat. Hi, Corwin. Give Druid the LA treatment. What is the LA treatment? Hope they provide Paragon enough changes from beta to make a decent DPS build. Wishful thinking, but they did mention that recently. Yeah, Paragon was I don't know if it was the funnest, but it was absolutely, like, no doubt the strongest heal build. It was crazy strong for support. Looks like Muck wants us to send in butter. That's what the command is for. Oh my god. Why can't I hold all this butter? Do you have any advice for a beginner trying to learn rotations? Just take it one step at a time. Just like trying to learn anything else. You know? Go to the test room in Lion's Arch Aerodrome. And, you know, try to learn like 2 steps. And once you think you got that down, add another one. And once you think you got that down, add another one. Just repetition. If you don't know about the testing room, there is a room called the Special Ops Training Room in the Aerodrome at the south end of Lion's Arch, where you can spawn a golem. You can give yourself boons, give the golem conditions, and you can just keep testing over and over as much as you want. I've been summoned to complain. What's up, Captain Crapface? Look, how are the computer issues going? The long answer is in the announcements channel of the Discord. The short answer is I am trying. I've already done many things, and I've got many more in the pipeline. Morning, Mucka Chad. Hi, Nick. I tried your Power Quick Untamed for a few days. I think it is my favorite now. Couldn't name her War Farts, though. Cannot do that to a Sylvari. Okay. I don't know how to see your damage without arc DPS. That golem I just told you about, every 25% of its life, it will spit out your DPS up to that point. So if you just beat on it and, you know, go as hard as you can, at 25, or sorry, at 75, 50, 25, it will spit out your damage. Muck, been watching your content creation guides, enjoying those, are useful, thumbs up. Oh, cool, I'm glad you like them. Glad to know that they're still helping. Muck, after your video about possible boon changes, how about a change to healing only traits like Druid Lingering Light? If you take it, the player cap of your healing abilities gets increased to 10. So you effectively heal 10 people, but you don't give boons anymore. would change the possible group structure for raids. Solo heal already works in high-end groups, but would just make it more LFG accessible. I mean, I don't... Yeah. A while back, I did a series called Let Me Solo Heal. And I did a bunch of raid bosses where I was the only healer. So one group had quick alack, quick DPS, and 3 DPS. And then the other group had me as pure heals with Lingering Light, the trait you just mentioned, with a alack DPS and a quick DPS, and then 2 more DPS. And I still got a lot of kickback from, like, I quit doing that series in the middle because I got so much, like, you know, just negative comments and stuff like that. So I am totally on board with your suggestion. I don't know that it would work for, like, the community as a whole. Because, like, if you make a change like that and it's just an optional one, and it's not just like... It's kind of like if you were like, okay, druid can't provide a lack anymore, but it's a better healer. People would just be like, okay, I'll never run with a druid again. You know? I'll just run with Tempest from now on. Or Revenant. Sorry, Renegade. So, whatever. Like, you can't just make, like, an optional thing like that. You kind of have to do it across the board if you're going to do it, I feel. That's just how I feel about it. Do I read the Discord correctly that we will get a PC build stream soon? No, you did not read it correctly. I built a PC yesterday. My fingertips hurt a lot. I took a bunch of parts. See, I didn't want to retell this story for the 40th time. That's why I said the long stories on the Discord. But I guess if you can't read the Discord. I took a lot of parts I had laying around. And I put together a PC, and it's a decent one, because some of them were my previous computer's parts. And I got it all together, and it's working. It turns on, it can see all the parts. I think I did it correctly. And the plan is for it to be a streaming PC, and my current PC to be the gaming PC. That way, if the gaming PC has another crash, we don't drop the stream. There's a couple of items I still need for that. If we don't have any more crashes, I'm planning on doing that this weekend. If we do have, like, a crash today, I would just skip the next morning stream, go to Micro Center, and just get to work on it. But there's a few more parts I need to make the whole thing work. I was kidding, sorry. Well, muck you. Guild Wars 2 community in a nutshell, so happy and welcoming. Okay, so that's in reference to all the kickback I got during that video series. I still maintain I still say that compared to other MMOs I've tried, the community in Guild Wars 2 is the nicest community that I've encountered. That doesn't mean it's perfect. It was an interesting thing though, because up until that video series, every time that I met someone that was just like really foul, it was usually in PvP. But when I tried that video series, I got the most, like, gross hate mail from people that were just, like, raid people. Like, they were like, you know, you're absolutely ruining everything. You're training people to be stupid. Stop it. You're making the... I'm like, oh my god. Like, that was the first time I had seen that from, like, the raid side. The Yorsu community talks and map chat and stuff? Yeah. I still say they're the nicest bunch, like Guild Wars 2 people as a whole, but yeah, there's absolutely some bad eggs, sure. I'm not gonna pretend like there's not. As someone who's an avid WoW player, Guild Wars 2 community is leagues ahead, the crappiest players you run into in PvP. Yeah. Your message hit the filter, Hinkleberg, but I saw it. This is my first MMO, but I've played many other games. By far, Guild Wars 2 is the best community I've come across. Yeah. Like, you know, the running joke in WoW is like, you know, if you go into Barons, you're like, hey, can someone help me out? I can't find Mankirk's wife. Then Barons will just tell you how they met your mother. My bad. No, it's fine. Just letting you know. Amalgam's overperforming. Nerf all LA just to be safe. Take their misform away. That way they stop angering healers. They've had misform for 10 years. They've proven they cannot be trusted with it. Take that away. I'm afraid of PvP because every time I go into the lobby, I see specializations. They're always saying the most unhinged stuff. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, if you go to the PvP lobby, there's often, like, one or two guys that kind of strike me as, like, the people that you find hanging out outside a gas station. And they're not playing games of PvP. They're just staying in the lobby and just being really weird. It's like... they're just being bonkers in the map chat. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hello? Hey, Rooksy, what's up? PvP lobby map chat is for crap posting? Yeah. It's where revenants are trained. Where they're trained? Yeah, it's where they can hear voices. I remember having to watch out for getting trained in EQ1 just out of spite that you beat someone else to a farming spot. Oh, trains, yeah. Yep. That's, yeah, hold on. For anyone who's not, like, you know, an old school MMO player, let me explain this. So, back in EverQuest, and maybe some other games as well, there was a thing that the community called trains. Imagine that you're fighting a mob. And then a second mob aggroes you, and you're like, crap, I can't handle both of these. Now, mobs would chase you until you zoned, okay? So let's say that you're in Bavanisos, and you've got way too much on you, and you can't handle it. You have to make it all the way to the entrance and zone out into this zone to stop them from chasing you, okay? So let's say you're running, and naturally, as you're running for your life with two mobs on you, you will pass more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15... and that's a train. And anyone you run past, you don't have a lot of aggro on these, because some of them you didn't hit them a single time. You just watch past them, so they're just pissed. And so you go running past other players that are playing, and then one of them, those players heals themselves, and all the mobs are like, woof! And then they all just kill that person in a second, and then continue chasing you with whatever their mobs were. And so it just becomes like a train of death. And so it became proper etiquette to yell train to zone or choo-choo or something, and then everybody could try to get out of the way. And if they didn't, or God help them, if they were like AFK at the zone line, they died. And then like if you finally zone out and all the stuff like stops and it turns and it starts to walk back to where they came from, and then some new helpless chap zones in, no, and then they all just kill him immediately. So sometimes it would start like a death loop and just keep killing people over and over and over. And then you had griefers. Yeah, so a griefer would just be someone doing that on purpose. There were plenty of people that were just like trying frantically to live, not trying to kill people, but they would accidentally kill lots of people. But yeah, griefers would be like, they would make a train on purpose and run past someone that they disliked and try to get them killed. And if they, you know, also, certain classes, like many of you know the Hunter in World of Warcraft with Feign Death. You could do Feign Death on some classes in EverQuest. So those people could do nasty trains because they didn't have to worry about themselves staying alive. Speaking of death loops, I had to explain the Hakkar blood plague to a coworker last week. Were you able to get them to understand it? Classic. Let's see. Champ train. Oh, no one's doing it right now. Dang, you wake up. What was the blood plague? TLDR, there was a boss in World of Warcraft that had a dot that he would put on someone, but the dot would spread to anyone near that person. And someone found out if they got the dot on, like, their hunter pet, and then they dismissed the pet, like it put it in storage, they could go to town and then summon the pet back out, and the raid boss dot would spread from the pet in town where they summon it. So if they would take it, people that were griefing would take the pet to the trading post where there's a whole bunch of people standing there, and they would pull the pet out, and then it would just start spreading like COVID through the city, and it would just like kill anyone that did not know what was going on, which most people didn't. And you would have, it was very interesting because you would have some people that were dying and not knowing what's going on. You had some people standing outside of cities, they'd be yelling, don't go in there, and they would be trying to warn people, and they were like, there's the plague's in that city. There'd be other people that didn't believe them, and they would just walk in anyway. And then there was people that were actively griefing and making the whole situation worse. And the whole thing actually got kind of recorded by it was a center for research about how civilization would act if there was a pandemic. And a lot of people were like, oh, no. I mean, like, the people trolling, no one's going to actually do that. A few years later, COVID happened. They pretty much nailed it. Like, there were people warning others. There were people that were not listening. There were people that were licking doorknobs and making it worse. Like, basically everything that happened in the video game, a version of that happened in real life. Like, that happened. CDC studies it, I think. CDC, that might have been the place I was thinking of. Yeah. Karner's Castle was famous for trains in EverQuest. You got yelled at for exiting to the left and wiping out AFKers. Yeah. I mean, anytime I think of, okay, for the EverQuest players, anytime I think of trains, I think of Crushbone Castle. One of the first dungeons in the game by Kelethan. Because it was new players, right? So there was so many trains because there was a lot of newbies that were there. Hey Muck, I have a friend who started playing Your Super a couple weeks. As a ranger, level to 80, he proceeded to Elementalist and says that Ellie is better than ranger in healing. I mean, it sounds like he just sucks at ranger healing. I will say, there is nothing wrong with Ellie healing. It is quite strong. The main thing is that it's got like half the health pool. So if he can play it well, that's totally fine. Like, obviously, I give Ellie a hard time, but it's because of the design, not because of the players. If he can handle playing Elementalist with almost half the hit points and he's not dying and stuff, that's totally fine. Let him live his life let him live his truth of being a water sprinkler. That's totally fine. Even people purposely coughing on it. Yeah. Yep. Virtually quarantining Orgrimmar. Yeah. I mean, basically, that was how to make the Blood Plague run its course. Was you would just have people stop going in and logging into Orgrimmar. Everyone that has the dot would die in a couple of minutes, and then it would stop spreading. But, of course, it was impossible to do that, because one, people wouldn't listen. People were, like, teleporting in with Hearthstones, people logging in on their characters. You know, there was just a constant influx of people. Quinn says, Hoymuck, just wanted to ping a thanks for your content, living my best life thanks to it. You're very welcome. Thank you for enjoying my stuff. What did Muck say in one of his recent shorts? Did I mention I hate LAs? That was because someone misformed out of my res, then asked for a res. Like, he deserved it. All right? That was a whole different thing. Whole different thing. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong zone. It's Janthier Century. This isn't Bobaniso's time. It's Janthier Century time. I just got a funny short from you on YouTube about the res emote and talking about Elementalist. Oh, dude, it gets even better, Alcin. That one, hold on. I posted this on Twitter the other day. Let me see if I can find it. I got a call from my dad about that. Okay, hang on. Okay, let me see. So, all right, this is just the other day. Here. I gotta share something with you. My dad emails me today, and I think my dad is subscribed to my YouTube channels, but he doesn't know Guild Wars 2, right? So it's not like he knows anything about it. So he emails me today, and he goes, yeah, I was watching something on YouTube, and I got suggested this video of yours. And he sends me a link, and I'm like, oh god, what video of mine did he get sent? And it's this. Stop in the fire! What did you do? I stood in the fire. You stood in the fire! Then what did you do? I misformed out of your res. You misformed out of the res! And it's like, I got sent this video. YouTube suggested me this video of yours. What the hell is this? And I was like, I just stared at the email for like 2 minutes. And I replied and I just said, you're welcome. So, that was something that happened recently. I was like, he doesn't really care. I was like, I don't need to explain this whole thing to him. He doesn't play Guild Wars. I don't need to tell him all about how awful Elementalists are. Wasn't there a subsequent event in WoW for the Wrath pre-launch with zombies? When the Wrath of the Lich King was about to come out, there was a event where the whole, like, the whole world was getting attacked by zombies and stuff, yes? Is that what you mean? Who just invited me? Alright, I'm here to save these people. Ghoul swarms, yeah. Try to res this person. Slap them away. Meant the ghoul swarms, gotcha. Yeah, it's been a long time since I did that event, but yeah, I vaguely remember it. If Buck would have died, that would have been funny. Well, I mean, I've got the Ranger privilege, so I probably would have gotten back up. Also, Jade Bot's off cooldown. Mug. Hi, Angry Apple, what's up? Haven't watched your Slay the Princess run completely. Did you finish it? Yeah. I mean, the whole game was like 3 or 4 hours. So now granted, it's a game that has a lot of branching paths, but I think it all either ends at one of like 3 endings, I think. But we got to the ending and then we reloaded and saw 2 of the other endings. It was an experience to be sure. But yeah, we did finish it. You know what? I just realized there's no one at Greer. This map is not gonna get this done. There is no one at Greer. This one's a bust. I was so tunnel visioned on breaking Decima's kneecaps. It took me a second to realize. There we go. I fixed it. Hey, we res these 2. Oh, that guy's like, oh my god, yes! I don't know what happened, but I'm alive. His bar was so low. Do you think yours 3 is close to being announced? Okay, here's my thoughts on that. Silk Song. They announced it, and then we got it 6.5 years later. So let's pretend, let's just use our imaginations and say that they announce Guild Wars 3 tomorrow. That does not mean we're getting it anytime soon. That's my thoughts. Now, would I like for them to be building that? Sure, that sounds amazing. However, 1, I don't know if they are. 2, if they are, we still have to be patient. Has anyone asked Grouch? Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh my god. I can't believe I didn't think of that. Yeah, oh, sorry, let me just like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Grouch? Yeah, it's Muck. No, Muck, no, the potato. No, the spongy one, not the wooden one. No, the guy that turns into a potato. Yeah, look, hey, are you making Guild Wars 3? He hung up. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, no, that doesn't work. That does not work. We can't just ask Grouch. You died? Well, I was doing an impression of a guy with a phone. Bite me. Why did you not ask during the partner tour of ArenaNet? They showed me a lot of cool stuff during the partner tour of ArenaNet. But I'll say the few things I did ask about, I have heard nothing about. I have been waiting, I don't know, three plus months at this point for a response on may I make more plushies? I've been waiting 6 years for Signet of Renewal to get fixed. They are very awesome people. They do not always answer my questions. Petition time, they should bow to the questions of Mark. Bow. Every time. I was rezzing that guy, and then the thing's like, no, and it mounts me. You're not rezzing him. Just do the loop, just do the rope thing. Let him die. Can we have a healer warrior appreciation? Every other healer gets a shout out while warriors bring so much to the table in terms of healers. What? Every other healer gets a shout out. Like, I've done entire videos, multiple videos on Heal Warrior. What are you talking about? They're not being neglected. I don't know where this is coming from. Hey, we rose. Yes, heal warriors can be solid. I will say the heal Paragon coming out, unless they change it a lot since the beta, is going to be the strongest version of the heal warrior. It was pretty busted. And when I say busted, I mean it kind of felt like I had cheat codes turned on. It was incredibly powerful as a healing support. With VOE, I think only the Rev one won't be having an S-rank healer. Well, there's some we don't like. Okay, for example, Troubadour was really solid. Paragon felt like cheating. Evoker felt terrible, but they admitted like, oh shoot, we gotta change Evoker a lot. Rit was good. Luminary was fine. But a lot of folks are disappointed in Luminary, and they did say they were going to redo it and give them their own virtues. So I don't know what Luminary is going to be like when they're done whatever they're doing. I feel appreciated, thank you. You're very welcome. Hey Muck, you wouldn't happen to have any poultry meat to give away in Guild Wars 2? I'm kidding, lol. No, you're not. You're doing a strategy that's called testing the waters. And I am fresh out of giveaway poultry meat, though. If you give me some, I can give some away. Why did I buy an EMP after the fight's over? That is complete muscle memory. Hi, do you think Guardian or Revenant has easier survivability and sustain? I think Guardian... Okay. Okay, first of all, Guardian has 3 elite specs, soon 4, and same with Revenant, right? So it depends on the one that you're playing. So, survivability and sustain, like Herald on Revenant, very, very good at surviving and sustaining. Guardian has got extremely good survivability, however, I would not say it's easy. Guardian has one of the lowest hit point pools, but it has the most amount of buttons that when you click them, they block 1 incoming hit. So if you're good with those buttons, then you will live a long time. If you're bad with those buttons, you will not live a long time. So I'm leaning toward Revenant for easier, if that's the question. Hold on, what was this? Oh, the Muctato program. Yeah. The snap filter program. It still had some components of it that were working. However, because of all the issues on my computer, I was trying to remove unessential things to see if I could pin down what was causing the issues. So one thing that I unhooked was the filters thing, because I wanted to see if that was part of what was causing it. Will there be a new way to get an underwater skimmer in VOE? I'm pretty sure there will be, but similar to the sky scale, if you do both methods, I think you get like extra masteries or something. I'm pretty sure I remember them saying that there would be. Can you play your ad again, or is it still DMCA'd? It still gets DMCA'd. Like, we have to cut... I can play it, but we have to cut the footage out after the stream if I do. So I usually save it for when we've got, like, a lot of people here. DMCA'd for the music. Yeah, when we made the ad, the music was not copyrighted. And apparently at some point someone made a song that's similar enough, and they copyrighted that song. So now every time I play the ad, it will it triggers it. It's stupid. Untamed skills kind of look like fart clouds. Oh yeah, very much so. Like this one especially. No one likes how this one looks. It's a massive projectile block and it does damage per second, so it's too good to not use. But yeah, it looks terrible. Faux show. Laura's VOD of her piano clock tower run got muted. Random toots got muted. Did she have any music playing in the background while she was doing it? Mount Balrior soon. Battle in Tarir also. Let's see if I can get it to rear. We love Tarir boxes. All my homies love Tarir boxes. Muck to use Windows 11? No, I'm currently on Windows 10 Pro. I'm gonna stress test something. Be right back if this explodes. Okay. It worked. One of the things I did yesterday during my 8 hours of working on computer things was I uninstalled all the video drivers on this computer and reinstalled them fresh. Which I did like 6 months ago in troubleshooting, but I did it again yesterday. And we haven't had a crash since then. We'll see if that maintains. But I can't replicate the crashes on demand. It's just like, if it happens, it happens. Good morning, Buck. Hi, Gwen. Probably bring a stun break for this one because of the frogs. Hey, Mark, I took a 3-year break and feeling a bit lost getting back to Guild Wars 2. Any tips on where to start? Yeah, there's a few things. Alright, so I've got a video called I just hit level 80, now what do I do? That might help you out. This one is just assorted Guild Wars 2 tips. Another thing you could do, like I myself came back to Guild Wars 2 after a 5-year break, and I couldn't remember how to play my characters, so I just made a new character. Then once I got that character to max level, then I played my old ones again after that. And this is a guide for new
traded
people.
my stream with 78 viewers.
Hi, Sake. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, I think one or all 3 of those videos might help you out. And if you have any questions, you're free, totally free to ask them here, and I'll do the best I can. The dragon has come for your snackies. Hand them over. My snackies? Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Welcome. Give me your food. Yeah, let me just upload you some ramen. Is your PC still dying? We were just talking about that. I hope not. I spent many hours yesterday doing everything I could to troubleshoot and fix the problem. But just in case that didn't work, I also spent another many hours yesterday assembling a computer with leftover parts to make a second PC to do a dual PC setup for streaming. I need a few more components for that. Soon TM for that. So, my goal is, at the latest this weekend, go pick up the components I need, like a capture card and some other stuff, and then have a dual PC set up, so that hopefully reduce the chances of problems even more. Did you see Heisen finally got to buy the game? I did, yeah, he DM'd me immediately when it happened. I did. I'm glad he got that resolved. I don't know what was going on there, but I'm glad he got that resolved. Agreed, I checked efficiency and my account value. Oh! Hold on, it's time to fight a door. Honestly, this thing dies so fast, and you only get credit if you hit it, so you gotta make sure you hit it. Kind of like the pinata. I feel like Muck is very disturbed by my raid message. Very disturbed? No, it gave me a chuckle. He gave me a chuckle. Let's say I've seen way worse. I was not disturbed at all. It was just kind of funny seeing so many folks demand snackies. Kill the frogs! Got him! The APIs were down since Halloween patch, that's why it wasn't working. Now it's up and running again. Sure, frogs remain the bane of my existence. Yeah, anytime I drop down here, I always take out the breacher first, because it makes more frogs, and then the frogs. And sometimes it's a regional thing. Like, if I'm playing on the North American servers, people usually tunnel down the frogs. They hate those frogs. If I'm playing on EU, they often try to ignore it, and just see if they can win while ignoring the frogs. Michael, I wasn't here for the PC dying thing. What were the signs? My issue was a video codec error. I'm doing stuff, the screen goes black. After like 2 seconds, it comes back on.
Orange chicken fun to keep Muck fed.
Woo! I love it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Excellent. The screens would go black. They would come back a few seconds later, and any program that was making a lot of use of the video card would be frozen. So games, streaming software, this little dude in the corner, if I had the filter program up and I was like turning my face into things, all of those programs would be frozen, which means the stream would drop. The computer would not have to be restarted. I would just have to use Task Manager, kill all those programs, and then open them back up and start again. The thing is, as a streamer, if I had like right this second, I am blessed with 400 viewers. If the stream goes down and I have to restart it, I'm back at 0 and it slowly goes up again. So it very much is both a punch to the channel and also financially the more crashes I have. So I've been troubleshooting this issue for a long time, and it's either like the video card or the power supply for the video card or the video drivers on the video card, but it's something related to video, and I've been trying to pin it down since August 2024. And sometimes the problem goes away for like a month, and I think I've fixed it, and other times it happens 3 days in a row, like this last week. Might be a Windows update issue. It's been like a year. I don't think it's a Windows update issue. What weapons should I use as a DPS chrono with only Path of Fire and Heart of Thorns DLC? You know what? I'm gonna ask the other chronos for help. Other chronos, what are your thoughts on that? I'm thinking Greatsword plus something, but what do you think? DPS chrono with only Poff and Hot. I'm a chrono, but I don't know what I'm doing. Sakay, what do you mean you're not a professional? You had like 100 viewers when you came in here. That means that you're getting paid to play. And if you're getting paid to play, that makes you a professional. By definition. Could you repeat what weapons? Morphe, I didn't know the answer to your question, so I asked chat, and a lot of them said Greatsword plus something. So if you scroll up just a little bit, you'll see a whole bunch of weapon stuff. That was for you. Hey, Mugga Chat. Hi, Sven. Classic chrono build is Greatsword and Sword. I started a few weeks ago. They literally just want to watch me suffer. Oh. Those kind of people, I see. Professional yapper. Yeah, I'm a professional yapper too. I'm better at talking than I am gaming. That's why we're in open world right now. Come on, you surely met enough people getting paid to do something they had no idea how to do. Yeah, I'm one of them. Classic streamer, yes. Let's see. Is Mux on Windows 10? Windows 10 Professional, yeah. No, I'm out of keys. I gotta get more keys. Where's the, right there. Windows 10 is RIP. Well, Windows 10 is no longer supported. That doesn't mean it just explodes, though. I can upgrade later. Let's get more of those. Try this again. No one likes Windows 11. I just don't like change. All right, if I could go back to Windows 7 or Windows XP, I would. And this isn't just like old man yelling at Sky. Like, I miss when I would be like, oh, where's this file? And I would just open the start menu and I would type in the file name and it would instantly spit it out. Now, it's like the computer has to search itself for 30 minutes and also Bing for some reason in order to find stuff I'm looking for. Like, the start menu has gotten so much worse over the last 10 years. I don't know what the hell's going on. So, it's like for all of the reasons I use Windows, it's been getting downgraded over time. Start menu is like useless now? Yeah, unless I'm like typing in the words control panel. Also sorry for randomly shooting you a DM. I was just happy to see you bounce around. Wait, did you DM me? Oh, wait, what's this? I totally missed it. I see a DM a few minutes ago. I totally missed it because I was talking to chat. When you have some downtime, look into the 25H2 update. You may have less time to upgrade than you think. Well, I turned off automatic Windows updates, so if I can go a couple years without updating, I will. Lol. We'll see what happens. Right now, I'm focused more on this crashing thing. I don't really care about Windows right now. What if the Windows update fixes the crashing issue? The crashing issue started August 2024, and no update since then has fixed it. I would highly doubt that this would do it. And the crashing issue is a video codec NVIDIA error. I would be really surprised if an NVIDIA issue was fixed by a Windows update. I mean the Windows 11 upgrade. I know what you meant. I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to be related. I can't say it's impossible. I feel like it would be pretty cocky of me to act like I would know that, but it just doesn't follow any logic. I don't think that would be the thing. But like I said, I spent hours redoing drivers and stuff on the computer yesterday. Haven't had an issue since, but if it happens, then I'll know. And then have taken steps toward a dual PC setup and working on that more. Where are you selecting your mounts? This thing is a overlay called Mounts and More. It's in Blish HUD. If you do !Blish, it'll pull up a link to a webpage of mine that's got a whole bunch of guides on it, and the one called Mounts and More is that wheel if you want it. You just hold down a button, go to the mount you want, and release the button, so you can use one button to access all your mounts with the wheel. It's very nice. Did you try turning it off and on again? You're asking if since August of 2024 have I tried turning it off and on again? Yes, at least once. You never know, some people never restart. Do you like mounts and more better than the Guild Wars 2 mounts add-on through the unofficial add-on manager? So you're talking about radial mount menu, and I used to use that for a long time. The thing with mounts and more is you can add more weird stuff into it. Like, look. There's my house. So you can add more stuff onto the selection wheel if you want to. You can put fishing on there. So I like this one more now just because it has like one extra feature. Did you call your PC a good boy? Oh man, are you kidding? I was in here with Tech Priest, so we had the little sensors with the smoke and everything. Oh, we were trying to appeal to the machine spirit. Like, we were truly desperate. Have you ever thought about making some tutorial videos on GIMP and how you use it for your YouTube work? Oh, hey, that's a good idea. I already did. There's a link to a webpage of mine about content creation guides, and everything in here is for people who are interested in doing what I do. That includes classes on how to make videos from start to finish, including making thumbnails in GIMP and stuff like that. Yep. Have fun. GIMP is great. GIMP is basically poor person's Photoshop, because it is free dollars. And I've never had something where I was like, oh man, I wonder if I could do this, and I Google it, and GIMP wasn't able to do it. So I've never felt a need to get Photoshop. Is there any reason to run a normal DPS over a Boon DPS? I mean, that just depends on what's fun for you. Like, an optimal group will have 3 DPS in it. So, if you find it fun, I mean, it is a roll. $3, that's so expensive. Wait, what? Photoshop? Photoshop's an Adobe product. It's not $3. What are you talking about? Dude, they'll freaking charge you every single month. And it's not $3. He said free. Yeah, GIMP is $3. Free, not 3. Okay, he misheard. I understand now. I thought he was saying Adobe was $3. Like, what? No, none dollars. $0. I like how you have the commands. We've got a few hundred commands on this channel. Anytime someone asks me a question a lot, I usually get annoyed to make a video, and then I just link the video from that day forward. So there's a lot of videos in here. I use Affinity Designer, 69 one-time payment, couldn't get used to GIMP. Hey, if it works for you, I'm not gonna knock it. I have no experience with that program though, so I can't really say. Mug, can you give me a TLDR on the story of Guild Wars 2? I have a video for that, because someone asked me to do this once, and I tried. It was really rough, though. It was really rough. It was me? Oh, then you have very poor memory. There were big dragons. There were big dragons. And human invaders from another planet. Do you have a tutorial on how to achieve your swaggy hair? I'm pretty sure my hairline was lower when I started streaming, and it's retreating into this, like, Vegeta thing now. I don't think you want my hair. I don't know how much longer it's gonna last me. I'm happy with what I got, but I don't know if it's here to stay. TLDR of Guild Wars lore, Bram bleeped up, and you have to clean it up. That's basically the Iceberg Saga. Like, it's kind of funny, because the entire Path of Fire is Ritlock screwed up. An entire Iceberg Saga is Bram screwed up. Half of Heart of Thorns is just Kate screwed up. It's just the main cast making the world just a crap hole for everybody else. Do you have a command for your TLDR of the Final Fantasy story? Oh god. The FF7 one? I think that was a YouTube short. Damn, what did that... I cannot find it. I searched FF7, I searched Final Fantasy. Yeah, I can't remember what I named that video. I thought it was like non-FF player explains FF story. Wait, was it a short? Maybe it was something else. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Yo, I forgot when I thumbnailed this. Look at this. Cloud, Sephiroth, and Tifa in the Italian Parliament. Perfect. There you go. There's non-FF player Mukluk tries to explain FF7. There you go. There you go. Another fantastic guide. To be fair, Ritlock really did have an option. Who knows if there would be another way to reignite Silhathan? Well, yeah, he did have an option. Just stay in there. Right? He was, like, just frantically trying to break out of purgatory. But the way that he got out just screwed everyone. Like, he could have just, like, sat down and chilled. But, you know, he didn't know. He didn't know. But literally, Path of Fire is entirely Ritlock says oops. And then all of Iceward Saga is Bram says oops. At least it was a Joko. I would argue that it was worse than Joko. Is the Italian Parliament irrelevant to the incident with the Anna? Yes. Yes. The whole Guild Wars 2 was because Logan screwed up? The whole Guild Wars? No. The thing is, I don't even really say that Logan screwed up. Because there's no guarantee that the day that you're talking about, that the main team would have been successful if he was there. However, it is Ritlock's very strong opinion that they would have been if he had been. So that's the reason they butt heads all the time. But it is largely in part to how, like, what Logan did when he wasn't there with him, that the humans and the Char are not killing each other anymore. Divinity's Reach would have been screwed. Well, Ebonhawk. Also, there's an argument that Ebonhawk would have been okay either way because of how Queen Jenna resolved that situation. But the way that Logan resolved the situation brought the Char and the humans together to fight side by side against the dragons instead of against each other. All of Guild Wars 2 is because Isgarin didn't do anything. There you go. We can agree on that one. To be honest, Guild is trying some weird comp due members not being able to always play. Asura's no, Air was the one that screwed up. Asura's no that Air did it. How did you know about the error message? Wait, the error message? Do you mean like the one that I've been getting? Hang on a sec. There's a Windows program called Event Viewer. And Event Viewer is where you can like look through errors that you've had in the past. Hang on, I'm gonna try to open it right now. And there is a error. Let me see if I can find it. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Nope, that's something else. When's the last time I got it? The 12th? I think it was 2 days ago. Is it code 153? Give me a sec, I'm trying to find the code. Let me see. I think it was 153. Is this the one from August 2025? Yeah, this is it. Yeah, so this right here, this error, this is every time the errors happened. I'm using a filter right here. This NVL, which is like NVIDIA, DDMKM, this file. This is it. It's funny, the message changed. Ever since I reinstalled the drivers, the message in this log has changed. But this is the one, and you can see, like, each of these red lines is a crash, basically. And the oldest one is 2024, August. So that's how I knew what was causing it, and that's what I've been trying to troubleshoot. And it's funny, you search that exact error message, and you can find people going back like 5 years that have been struggling with this. Exact same symptoms as me online. So I've been trying like every single thing that one of them in those tech forums has said worked for them. Faulty GPU. Possibly faulty GPU, but I doubt it because I got a new graphics card last November, which was after this started and it continued. We already tried swapping out the drivers once, maybe it was that. One person said their power supply fixed it. One guy said he had RAM that was unseated. One said turning on hardware acceleration helped me. Someone else said turning off hardware acceleration helped them. Someone said going to that file and changing the permissions on the file fixed it for him. Are you on Intel? No, I'm on a Ryzen, I think. You got a new GPU? Last November I did. Not like today. Have you tried blowing on the GPU? It's a GPU, not a freaking NES cartridge. Have you tried 2 chickens and a dove? I don't understand that reference. Sometimes you gotta reinstall Windows. We did that too. We did that too. Yeah. At this point, it needs an exorcism. Did you put it in rice? You know what? I did not put it in rice. Let's see. There was actually a warning label telling people not to blow on the NES cartridge. It worked. I mean, blowing on the cartridge worked. So there was a reason people did it. You know, one of the weirdest things in terms of like, that should not have worked, but it did, that I ever experienced. I want to say again, NVIDIA control panel video editing mode. Oh, I don't know what that is. I tell you what, Matt, hold on. I will write this down, and if the problem happens again, I will try that. Right now, like, I reinstalled all the drivers yesterday and did a few other things, so I don't want to touch anything else, and we'll just see if it happens again. Here, hang on. Random, I'm going to click a few random things just to stress the computer for a second. Okay, it's fine for now. What was I going to say? Okay, hold on. Short little story for you guys. The biggest that shouldn't have worked, and I can't believe it did moment I've ever seen. I was staying over at a friend's house when I was in high school, and we were playing video games all night. He had a console. I didn't have a console. The only time I got to play console games was at friends' houses. I think we were playing Tekken. I was playing this guy that had like, he had like studded gloves, and he did like electric punches or something like that. But it was my first time playing, so it wasn't going great. But yeah, I had fun. And we were playing Tekken, and the game stopped working. And he pulls out the disc, and he like blows on it, and he like puts it back in, and it's still not working. I was like, oh no, did your game break? And he goes, hang on, I could fix this. Come with me. And I'm like, what? And he picks it up, and he leaves the room. And I'm following him, and he walks in the bathroom, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he drops it in the toilet. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's disgusting. And he goes, no, watch. And he flushes it. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. And the disc is just bouncing around. And the water level goes down. And, you know, when the water level goes down, he scoops it back out. And he dries it off on a towel. And I'm like, are you kidding? Are you trolling me right now? And he's like, watch. And we go back to his room, and he pops it into the console, and it works. I'm like, that should not have worked. Are you serious? Like, he literally just throws it in the toilet, flushes, it ding-ding-dings around, and then he dries it off, and it fixes it. I had no good words. That was, dude, that was so long ago, that burned into my eyes. Like, that should not have worked. That should not have worked. He put it through the rinse cycle? Yeah, exactly. I hope that toilet wasn't used beforehand. I mean, I'm sure at some point it was, but it wasn't in that moment. Have you used this knowledge in IT? Yes, anytime angry customers come in, I throw them in the toilet. I give them a swirly. It always fixes them right up. That's exactly right. He just grabbed it with his bare hands. Well, again, when the water level went down, he just scooped it out while it was just sitting there. Hear me using a dab of dishwashing liquid and a wet wipe on CDs? Nope. You need that toilet water. Let's see. What's that? Oh, now Babanizos is happening. I imagine he discovered that fix in a moment of anger. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a hate crime. A hate crime on console discs. Best IT story I've ever heard was this. My keyboard doesn't work. IT. Is it plugged in? User, I can't tell from here. IT. Pick up the keyboard, walk 10 steps back. Do you still have it in your hands? I haven't heard that one. Is the boss here? Oh, there he is. Dude, render the boss, please. I can't see. Please render the boss. Well, I got here just in time to get my butt kicked. AoE res, 5 of you. Get up and interrupt this guy. God dang it. That was so not fair. That was so not rare. That was non-consensual raiding. I arrive and get trapped and I haven't even rendered the guy. It wasn't the act of blowing on the cartridge that worked. It was the simple act of taking it out and putting it back in. Hard disagree. Because as a kid, many times we would take out the cartridge, put it back in, that wouldn't work, and then we would blow on it and then it would work. Like, dust would get on the connectors, and then they would not, like, be reading one another. Like, I had to do it, so... The only console I ever had of my own growing up was the NES system. Like, the original NES. And that one, yeah, we had to blow in the cartridges quite a lot, because the connectors were just, like, laid bare. To be fair, spitting on copper connectors is a bad idea. Who said spitting? I said blowing. Dude, you're over here blowing like suffering succotash. No, I said blow air. Air has water particles, though. Okay, by that logic, you can't move the disc through the air. Come on. Air also has hydrogen. That doesn't mean it's gonna blow up if you move wrong. Just use a bidet to clean the disc. Instructions that clear picked up disc and started making alarming ticking noises. What are y'all talking about? Close. You could tell everyone over age 30 with the hard disagree comments. You talking about because of the blowing on the cartridge thing? Yeah. Yeah, because you know what? Hold on. I don't even care if I die here. Hold on. Let me see. Oh gosh. I'm gonna have to work for it. Okay. Hold on a sec. Let me move Megatron. Move the firebox. Move the giant hammer. Move the toolbox. Let's see. Laptop bag. Lid. What's this? Let's see. Oh, I've been looking for that. Alright, with that. Open this. Come on. Okay, there we go. Alright. Okay, got to the only console system I've ever owned. Alright, here we go. Here is a Link cartridge for the NES. Alright? If you look on the bottom, on the inside, see that thing? That's the connector. It was just completely open and exposed to the air. You'd get dust on that thing. And if there was any dust on it, it wouldn't read it when you would plug it in. The same with the console. The console itself, it was just exposed like that. So you just had to make them kiss, and then it would read it. If you plugged it in and it just didn't show up, you pull it out and just, and then try it again. You weren't spitting all over it. You just had to do that. Otherwise it wouldn't work. I mean, I suppose some of you were spitting on it, but that wasn't the intent. Alright. Give me a second. I covered my... Oh, hey, Chip. I haven't seen you at all today. He heard me banging around and came to see what's up. Halfway done. I had to move a lot of stuff to get to that. Okay. We burned a calorie. Alright. Alright. Let's see. How are we doing? Someone has gotten me to 99% revived. Hey, look at that. I was AFK that whole time, but I didn't even die. Fantastic. Muck is making them res them nonstop. No, I was going to respawn. I was surprised to see myself that far revived when I got back. I didn't make them do anything. They revived you multiple times. I stood in the fire so they didn't get bored. GG. Alright. Give me a second. I got dust all over my hands. Just a moment. Much better. Just blow on them. Just pretend I'm like the air jet thing in the public bathrooms. I swear I've seen that same exact mechanic from Gorseval at Spirit Vale. Same model, it's the same type of creature, not the same fight mechanics. I took an N64 game swimming once and it still worked. I mean, there's quite a few components for electronics that if they get wet, as long as you completely dry them before electricity is put through them, it's fine. Right? But if there's any electricity that moves through them while they're damped, then the component can get damaged. And I'm guessing that your N64 game that was in your pocket's an example of that. Hey, Chip. Green screen? Oh, yeah, we can turn that off. I had to do that for the Link game that we were holding up earlier. Green screen failed. No, I just forgot to turn it back off. I've got a button right here for it. Is that an N64 cartridge in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Was it a Link to your past? No. I mean, honestly, that Link game, I never got more than 10 minutes into it. I had a very... Okay, y'all want to hear a pretty dark story? Alright, so my dad had a friend named Bob. And Bob lended us his Nintendo system so that I could play it for like a spring break or something. Bob mucking died. He just died. And so he had no living family or anything. So then I was just left with that NES system and those games. And I was so young that like one of the games in there is Final Fantasy. Like, no number, just Final Fantasy. And I tried it, and like, dude, I couldn't make heads or tails of it, you know? It was too complex for my tiny brain at the time. So there was a few other games in there, like, you know, DuckTales, which was deceptively difficult. There was a handful in there that I really enjoyed, and then there was others that I couldn't, like, figure out at all. And I think Link and Final Fantasy were ones that I couldn't figure out at the time. How old for Link? I don't remember. I don't remember my exact age at the time. So you only one person who had advantage of that, that's us. Oh my god. Now, I knew one story about Bob, and it was, pretty horrific. I'll tell it to you. So, Bob was a pilot in the military, and he was piloting a aircraft, like an F-14 or something, I don't know. And dude, Bob was a tall guy. He was like 6'3" or something. He was taller. His head went slightly above the back, like the seat back in the pilot seat of the aircraft. He had to eject one day. When you eject, as I understand it, you press the button, pull the lever, whatever, and your seat fires upward, and the back of your seat breaks through the canopy of the aircraft. He was too tall, so his head broke through the canopy of the aircraft. And it compressed his spine about an inch, maybe 2. And when he landed, he basically could only crawl. And when they finally were able to retrieve him, he was basically in therapy for the rest of his life for this thing. And I don't remember if that injury was part of why he just suddenly passed away, or if it was unrelated, but he was basically in, like, just great discomfort for the rest of his life because of that. That's the story as it was told to me when I was a young lad. He sounds like a Chad, though. Yeah, I mean, he was fine. As an individual, what little I knew about him. I mean, he was just a friend of my dad's. Like I said, he loaned a kid he didn't know a Nintendo, so he couldn't have been all bad. But yeah, one day he was just like, gone. It's all people in chat suddenly don't want to be pilots. Yeah. There's one reason women make better fighter pilots: smaller frame, easier to redirect blood to the brain in high G environments. I didn't know that. Hey, Mug Chat. Hi, Bozer. Aren't you tall as heck? I'm 6 foot even. Tall, Bob, who we were talking about, I would have to look up at Bob. He was taller than me. I would say, I don't know what the average height is for a guy in America, but I feel like I'm maybe a hair, like just slightly above average. But there's plenty of people I run into that I have to like crane my neck to look up at. But I'd say whether or not you consider me tall probably depends on where you're from. Like, I think if you were in Japan, you'd consider me tall. I think if you were in, like, Dutch land, I think you'd consider me short. I think Alora's people are all giants or something. Let's ask Laura. What, you're gonna ask Laura how tall she is, or the average height over there? We can just Google that one. Typically, the canopy would have an explosive charge that blows it off before the seat shoots up. Maybe it failed, though. I also, just to let you know, like, I met this guy, like, 30 years ago. And he already had the injury. So I don't know if the planes, when he was flying, operated the same as we know them now. Hey Mug, did you already fix your PC issue? Short answer, I've done more troubleshooting. I'm not sure if it's fixed or not. And I am also trying to get a dual PC set up to further prevent issues in the future. The long answer is in the announcements channel of the Discord if you wish to see it. Hey, Mugga Chat, I'm going to be lap farming on my warrior. What's the best AoE weapon for warrior? Oh god, I don't know. Warriors help! I don't know. I don't know the answer. We'll try to get you the answer. There you go. There's a lot of responses from the warriors in chat. Does Mum have any guilds open to invite ATM for EU players? Yes. Mum. Mum, can I please have a guild? Can I please have some more? Yeah. Do I have a button for that? I have a command for it. I don't know if I have a button for it. Exclamation guild in the chat, which Blue just did in the YouTube chat. Just read that and we can get you in one if you want. Mummy Muck, no, we have guilds at home. Is Mum Luck your mother? I suppose she can be now. Hi chat, hi Mug. Guild Wars 2 newbie here. I've leveled my ranger to 80, pretty much loving the game. Nice. Started hot, now I'm kind of interested in other classes. It's not pressing much, but I fear to invest too much into a class I ended up leaving. Should I test other classes before continuing or finish the full story and then look at other classes? So, Jason, couple things. One, everything in your wallet is for your whole account, right? So, all the karma and gold and stuff that you've earned on your ranger is not wasted if you swap to a new main. Second thing is that some of your gear you can move over. So like your backpack, your amulet, your rings, you can move those over to whatever new thing you play. If the new thing you play is also medium armor, engineer or thief, you could bring your armor over as well. When you make your new character can start in Heart of Thorns if you want to. They don't have to start like all the way at the, level 1 story again. You know, they can pick up near where you were. So it's up to you. This game is, as far as MMOs go, it's very alt friendly, but whether or not you want to do that is completely up to you. Are masteries and achievements shared? Yes. Yes, so, masteries. So, like, one of the first masteries you get in Heart of Thorns is gliding. Your whole account has gliding. Even if you make, like, a brand new character, it's gonna have gliding. Not all gear is transferable. That is true. There is a very small amount of gear in the game that will be bound to a specific character, but most gear is transferable. And so basically you just look at it and see if it has your character's name on it, and if it doesn't, you should be able to put it in the bank and then withdraw it from the bank on your other tune. You know, so many times people are like, oh man, I wish Guild Wars 2 had a trade window like WoW. And you know what? I agree with that. But how good is our bank system? Like, in WoW, if you want to move something to another character, you have to mail it. God, I love our shared bank system so much more than mailing between my own characters. I was watching a WoW streamer the other day and I saw them mailing something to an alt and I was like, oh god, I forgot you had to do that. Mailing between alts hasn't been a thing for a while. Maybe on retail? I was watching someone on one of the classic servers. So I don't know when they fixed that. I say fixed. I should say I don't know when they changed that. WoW now has an account-wide bank system too. It's still not as good as this or Lost Ark storage system. How would you fix the Baba Nisos meta? To fix it implies that it's broken. So first we would need to identify the problem, right? I would say the Bavanisos... Okay, you just put me on the spot with this question. I don't have a prepared answer, right? Off the top of my head, I would say the Bavanisos meta has two problems. One, the hardest part is at the beginning, which is weird. So, maybe do the meta, we split and do the two side lanes, and then the middle lane area where we're at right now is the final area, and we fight not Gorseval here. The second issue, I think, is how anticlimactic it is when you're done. You ever finished a lane and you're like, is the meta over? And you're sitting there looking around and you're confused, and then it's like, wait for Livia to talk, and then you get your chest. You're like, oh, now it's over. Like, it's hard to tell when the thing's over. They need to make that clearer in some fashion. Boom. So right here, Livia addresses the group. That's how you know the meta's over. So like, if you're here and your lane's done and you're just waiting for the other lanes to finish, and then suddenly another chest pops up and there's like no fanfare or anything, it's kind of odd. This is a color scheme. This guy has like no clothes and a flower in his hair. This looks like a mascot that would be like on a Monster energy drink or something. You're like, Gatorade, is it in you? Sweating purple. I really thought it was part one. I was like, oh, we'll get more later, nah. Probably having another event to end the meta to bring the lanes back together again. Yeah, possibly. The Old Spice ad. The Old Spice ad. I'm getting swarmed, chat. We're teleporting out. I want to say SOTOR eventually implemented mat storage, but I don't think it was there at launch. Might be wrong. Never really crafted on it. I'm pretty sure WoW didn't have mailing system at launch, and then EverQuest 2 had it, and then I think WoW copied the mailing system from them, which was a good addition. Are we doing an unboxing? An unboxing? I don't have a box to unbox. You should see the eyesore that is my main. Oh, you're really selling it to me, I'll tell you what. The eyesore. Should have either had a brain to deal with or reduced to 2 lanes and have the heart be the final and a lot tougher, perhaps needing to choke off a few arteries to it before attacking the main heart. The way you described that reminds me of a thing I saw recently. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. Hang on a second. Oh, I can't find it quickly. So someone had a Dungeons and Dragons idea, and they were talking about it on Twitter recently, and the idea was it's a campaign, but it's like Osmosis Jones style. So you're like inside a body, but the body is a dragon. So the dragon is the dungeon, so it's a dungeon and a dragon. And they had this big map, and there was like the heart and the lungs, and there was all kinds of stuff. It was really, really cool. I wish I could pull up the picture, but I can't remember where I saw it. Google failed me. Almighty Chaos. Think you've heard of Nexus for Guild 2 already? Yeah, I've heard of it. I have no experience with it, though. If so, there's an add-on called Fast Load, which as its name just loads the instance faster. Pretty neat for having lots of alt characters. Did you perchance look into that already? No, I have no experience with that one right now. Opening then selling comment. Wait, hold on. What was the question? One sec. Open thousands of trick-or-treat bags or sell them. It's gambling, basically. If you sell the bags unopened, you'll guaranteed to get X amount of money. If you open them, you will likely get less than X amount of money, but there's a chance you'll get way more. It's gambling. So you choose. I'm the kind of guy that would just sell them unopened. But if you just, you know, want to have fun, you could open them and see what you get. Hey, my quick question. I play in organized Zergs and usually have to swap classes depending on comps since I'm core team. But I feel like doing that, I don't really master any class. Any advice? I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing what you're doing. It sounds like you found a way to be useful to a large group of people, which is always fun. You could, for example, like I don't know what you're playing. Like if you're trying to do, you know, quick DPS and then heal a lack sometimes. Like there's certain classes that can do, like Chrono. You know, Chrono can do all of those right now, at least until VOE. I don't know if they're changing it, but you could limit yourself to how many things you swap between. Like a Guardian can do every role, but you know, you might be swapping to Firebrand sometimes or Willbender sometimes, etc., etc. But yeah, I would say, you're saying you're not mastering any one class, but you probably have fresher knowledge of the 8 other classes than I do. So it's not bad. However, it's important to remind everyone that the main goal of a game is to have fun, which we forget about sometimes. So I think the big question for me is, like, are you enjoying what you're doing? If you need a break from it, then take a break from it. But if you're enjoying it, I would see no reason to change it. I seem to recall, yeah, they mentioned when they were talking about Troubadour, it was a really weird comment. They said something about, we want Troubadour's class identity to be better, so we're going to take Chrono back to its roots or something, which I don't really know what that meant, but it kind of sounded like they were taking something away from Chrono and giving it to Troubadour, but we'll see if they do that. Are there any good pets for Ranger builds in Soto? What about Janthir? Ranger pets, huh? Let's see. Soto, let's see. I think Janthir had the honeybee, or the juvenile Janthiri bee. And the bee, Soul Beast likes it in PvP quite a bit. It has a CC move that knocks people down, and it has a heavy Condi attacks. And then there's also in Soto, the Spine Gazer, which has the ability to rip boons off a target. So if you are playing a ranger, depending on the type of ranger you are, this might be your only way to remove boons from a target. So that's useful in some situations. The Chalk, I forget where the Chalk was from. Chalk Norris. The Chalk was from one of those. It has a weird skill. Hold on, let me see if I can show you this. Spit Goop. Alright, so Spit Goop, oh, it does it in a line. It does it in a very long line. Oh, it can do damage from far away. It is ranged, but it is glassy. So some people can use it in glass builds, like, you know, power builds. Ether Hunter was from Soto. This one was really, really good. It has a skill where it dives underground, and then it comes up under the target. So unless they're evading or blocking, like, it hits. It will not miss them. So this is really nice in PvP because you could just be like, hey, CC that guy over there, and he will. And then he does some Condi damage and stuff. I think that was all of them. I think that was there 3 in Soto and 1? I don't remember if Chalk was Soto or, hang on. Juvenile Sky Chalk Striker. I don't remember if Chalk was Soto or Janthir. It was Soto. Okay, so were there 3 in Soto and 1 in Janthir? Or am I forgetting one? The baby Warclaw. Ah, right, you are. That's it. It's way up here. Juvenile Warclaw. That's it. This was added in Janthir as well. It's a cat. It does less damage than other cats, but it has a CC move. And the F2 can give your whole team super speed for 3 seconds. It's the only way a ranger can give a group super speed. So it's that. So that's another one. Do pets scale with gear? No. They just scale with your level, and then additionally, there is, if you take Beast Mastery will give the pet 150 bonus to all stats and reduce the recharge of their skills, and a few other passive bonuses. And then, let me hit undo. There's a few other things, like for example, this trait here buffs felines and avians and drakes. There is various other things. This one buffs moas. There's a few traits that they've added in that buff certain pet families. Morning, Morning, Muffin. What up? How you doing? Can someone give me an invite to Muck's Discord? I got you. Here it is. It's going into the chat now. Beastly Warden is nice. Dude, Beastly Warden is insane. It's not really useful anywhere, but it is insane. Let me show the non-rangers this. All right, so if I pull out a bear pet, okay? Let's see, brown bear. All right, 52,000 hit points, right? It doesn't have a ton of toughness, but 52k health, all right? Then, if I go to Beast Mastery, this trait here increases the damage of bears and pigs by double. However, they do really low damage, so it doesn't really matter. And plus 50% more hit points. So now this bear has 80,000 hit points. Which is insane, but I don't know of any content where it's useful to have an 80,000 hit point bear. Like, maybe if you could get the bear to tank a raid boss or something, that would be pretty cool. But, you know, as it is in the game right now, that's just like a crazy, weird thing. Does that work as Soul Beast? Does it increase your max health if you're a Soul Beast? I don't think so. Hang on. So 18.8k, merge, 21k. No, I gained a little bit of vitality because merging with the bear gives 100 vitality, but that's it. Undo. Everyone knows there's an undo button up here, right? I shock at least one person every day with that. That's like 5 weavers. 80k? That's 8 weavers. A weaver is 10k. Everyone shut up, they just added bee skimmer. Wait, what? Bee skimmer. Fuzzy bee skimmer skin. Oh my god, that is very fuzzy. This looks like the thing I ran the other day to test my video card, to stress test it. That is very fuzzy. I guess you sit right there. Oh, that's a well done model. I kind of wish the legs moved a little on their own. Right now the legs are just kind of floppy. It seems like the legs are just kind of like kites. They just kind of dangle, but it looks really good. I do think the art department did a good job. Is there anything else new in here? I think that's it. I think that's it. I need it. You need it, Rixie? Will it shoot honey in VOE? That would be a good touch. Reminder that in Visions of Eternity, the skimmer gets a gun. Or 2 guns. What is this? I have 4 silver in my delivery box. Okay. Important to watch this because of the new skimmer skin. I'm almost afraid to click this. Hang on.
Mark, this is...
It's a scene from, Invincible? I'm not gonna risk it right now. I'm not gonna risk it right now. Me just now realizing not everyone is a data miner. I know the #1 data miner in the community, that Shaman. Like, I know who that is, but as a ANET partner, I can't talk about that stuff. Because either A, it's not going to be released, and then I'm spreading misinformation, and ArenaNet gets mad. Or B, it is going to be released, but if I talk about it, it puts it on blast before they're ready, and then ArenaNet gets mad. Either way, they get mad. B skimmer the TP. I know, we just talked about it. Is the bees mean? Okay, hang on. I don't think I know the bees mean. Hang on.
Mark, this is good news. We can finally we can be bees. This isn't your world, but we can be bees. This is good news. You can be a bee. You'll live like a bee. A pet.
A pet?
A pet. Mark, this is good news. You'll live for 30 years.
This is insane!
I have never seen this before. I have never seen this before.
Finally we can be bees.
We can be bees. Yeah, no one's ever sent me that before. Okay, that's new. Is it the train scene? If so, you should totally show it. No, I know the train. I watched season 1 of Invincible, so I know the train scene. What advance info are partners actually given? Is it a lot of cool things, not asking for info, not genuinely active? I mean, what? What? Okay, you said, what advance info are partners given? Is it cool things? I'm not asking for info. Yeah, you are. All right, for the most part, none. For the most part, we're not given stuff. But again, it's just because of the platform. Like, if I put something on blast, people are like, oh, well, Mukluk said this is coming out, so this is officially coming out. And if I put something on blast that was data mined and it's not supposed to come out for like 6 months, then they're like, dude, Mukluk, WTF. You ruined the surprise for a lot of people. And I'm just like, oh, sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, basically, if something was not publicly disclosed by ANET for Guild Wars 2, I'm just supposed to not talk about it. I mean, I don't work for them. I wouldn't be in like any legal trouble or anything, but I could get kicked out of the partner program, and I like being in it, so I don't want to do that. No point in upsetting them. To be honest, I figured the B-mount would have been released on the 28th. Hey, Muk, much love from Brazil. Hello from the colonies. Welcome. Let's see. What do we do now? What do we do now? Like how he's not supposed to talk about those 6 doors he saw on the Seattle trip at ANET. The 6 doors. You make it sound so spooky. Yeah, I joked in my visiting ArenaNet video that, what was it? I passed a door that said Guild Wars 3, one that said Guild Wars 4, and one that said Tyrion Fight Tactics. I actually had one of the devs that talked to me out there. He DM'd me and he goes, yo, I can't wait for Tyrion Fight Tactics. And I'm like, yo, I felt like no one caught that joke. Let's see. Defensive Amanitas. Tequaddle? Maybe Tequaddle. If I got Tyrion Fight Tactics, I'd be so happy. Someone just fills the board with Bram. You're like, oh my god. There's some posts on Twix that are something. Twix? I didn't know the candy bar had a social media platform. The board would kill itself. I think... Oh, music. Is this map fighting the Dargon? I see a mentor badge. I'm here to save you guys. Bone walls. Why are you putting up bone walls? Stop that. I can't see! Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. If an Asura is riding that bee skimmer, is it just a normal size bee? That would be funny. I don't think so, though. No, he feared me and I stun broke it and then he feared me again. Alright, he's invulnerable. Wait, no, he's not. He put up the wall again. I cannot remember the last time I fought Tequaddle. He put up this wall. Ah! Okay, I was blinded IRL. That was not fair. Okay, he's invuln. Laser time. One negative point about the bee skin, technically bees have a third third eye sort of that help them see differences of luminosity. Wait, what? What? I'm kidding, of course those are fictional bees. Were you just making up bee facts? You would just go on the internet and lie to people? This guy. Part of the problem.
A mentor badge? Quick, you might learn a thing or two. BTW, have you seen my hair follicle collection? I am sure I left it in one of these beakers, but I cannot seem to remember where it went. Oh well. Might as well start over. You have the honor of being my first donor.
Oh my god. Do you need all the hairs or just one hairs? I can spare one. God dang it, Muck, you misunderstood my phrases. Hold on, let me reread your message. You said, yes, I'm lying. What are you going to do about it? Oh, dang, Rooksy, jeez. What? Ah! Dude, it's been so long since I've done a Tequaddle that wasn't just like cakewalk. I don't know what's going on right now. I do not know what's happening right now. Usually he lands at 75%, and he's just instantly burned down to 50. Mucky, I've been watching your Mukluk Plays channel for some time now. Considering the plethora of games I've seen you play, have you ever considered trying out Warframe? Warframe is definitely a game that people have yelled at me to play. It's just finding the time. I will say, as an outsider looking at it, I just see a game where every single person plays a ninja robot, and every class is a ninja robot. And they run on walls and stuff. That's all I know about it. That's all I know about Warframe. Let's go here. I'm not lying about the eye fact. I said I was kidding about the it's a bad thing. Oh, okay. You won't have enough time for Warframe and Guild Wars 2. You simply won't. Ah, it's okay. I'll just divide my attention between those and World of Warcraft. That's not a bad thing for being informed, honestly, but there are a lot of different kinds of ninja robots. Different ninja robots? Hey, Mike, I got to Guild Wars 2 recently and I'm enjoying your content. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like my stuff. Hulu says, hey, Muck and chat just reached Path of Fire, doing the game in order. That is the best way to do it. Quick question. What's the best way to get the sky scale? I see so many people flying, I'm jealous. So, Hulu, the sky scale was added in Living World Season 4, which is right after Path of Fire. it is a project, but it requires you to have done the Path of Fire story and Living World Season 4 stuff to do the quest line to get the Sky Scale. You can also, if you prefer, play until you get to Secrets of the Obscure, and then you can get the Sky Scale in Secrets of the Obscure. They added a second way to get it there. Either one. I found an hour-long video from an FF14 guy who tried out Guild Wars 2, and I was going to tell you it'd be nice to see you react to it, then I saw you already had a comment under the video, lol. Oh, did you? Wait, what? Which video was it? Was that recent, or was that a long time ago? I am curious. I played 100 hours of Guild Wars 2 to answer one question. Let me see. What did I write? Oh my god, why does my comment have 350 updates? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did watch this.
Drew me deeply into the house, just to leave space.
Yeah, it was cool, because the guy said he was going to try different MMOs for 100 hours each, and then he ended up getting so into Guild Wars 2, he's like, maybe I'll play it for more than 100 hours. Yeah, and I wrote, me with 9,000 hours of Guild Wars 2. Why, yes, YouTube, I would like to hear this person gush about it for an hour. But for real, great storytelling. Love the bit about the guild hall with seconds to spare. See you in Tyria. Don't hesitate to ask questions if you get stuck. Tons of us would love to answer. I haven't seen any of these replies. Hi, Muck. LOL, right. I still got baby hours. 2,000. Hi, Muck. Good to see you. Do you even play? I like Guild Wars 2, but good story. Are we playing the same game? Wait, what? I was talking about the guy who made the video. Are you stupid? He was saying Rinnan's video was good storytelling, not the game storytelling. There's always one. Is that the Mukluk Douglas Bartholomew Reginald? I have 3,000 hours myself. It's fun to watch new perspective. So yeah, yeah. It was a good video, and it was cool that he was hyped about it. Y'all ready for the grunting? Hold on, I want to make sure nobody misses anything. Turn everything down but the dialogue. Don't tease me with a good time. What a terrible day to have yours. Grandpa getting out of his chair. Add the ASMR tag to the stream. We're gonna make this stream one that you could be proud to be watching when your parents walk into the room. Life goals, be the tab that people have to explain. Monkey's doing calisthenics, yeah. Have you seen the new skimmer skin? The bee, yes. We looked at it a few minutes ago. Good news, Buck. We can finally be bees. You know, I had never heard of that meme. And then someone just sent it to me, and now I'm educated on it. Could do the Nick Cage meme. Oh, we're that'd be a better picture. Just get a whole bunch of people on the bee mounts lined up, take a photo, and then put Nick Cage screaming about bees in front of it. He went silent. Yeah, his phase 2 has less grunting. He's more of a phase 1 grunter. GG. Nick Cage question mark. It's a movie. Hang on a sec. There's a scene in a movie, and I don't even remember what led up to it, but the scene is this. Not the bees, and he's got this like basket with bees on his head. So the thing would be like if you got a picture with like a bunch of people on the bee mounts all lined up, maybe some ranger pet bees there too, and then have this in front of it. I like how I wrote Nick Cage bees meme, and Google says, "Oh God." Like, what a weird response. That is something. It's definitely come to life. Oh God, not the bees. In my imagination, or are the enemy CCs in the lab more intense this year? I don't know. I was in the lab for like 5 seconds. Is there a helmet that looks like that basket in Guild Wars 2? Not that I immediately know of. You could certainly go to the dressing room in the bank and browse them all if you were dedicated. If you don't know how to do that, if you go to your bank, wherever your bank is, and go to wardrobe, you can just start clicking on like every helmet in the game and see if you can find one that you like. Is it my imagination, or are the enemy CCs in the lab more... Oh, I already read that one. I thought the bee skimmer skin would be kind of cute, but it's making it this realistic kind of creeps me out a bit. So, hang on, I got an idea. All right, I know what you wanted them to do. Hang on a second. All right, we're going to take a picture of this bee, and we're going to see if my computer explodes here. I'm going to open Paint. I'm going to paste this. All right. Okay, so here we go. All right, so here's the bee that's troubling our friend here, right? And here is, let me see. Hold on. We need a thicker brush. Make it red. Here is what they wanted. That's it. That's what they wanted. But because they didn't get that, they're scared. Horrified even. Angry eyebrows. Wait. I got it. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh gosh. I'm gonna need another paint here. I'm gonna need another one. One sec. Okay. If someone says angry eyebrows, first thing I think of is this guy. Let me see. How do I... There we go. Freeform tool. Perfect. This is so horrible. That didn't work at all. Ah, dang it. Forget it. I need to do this in GIMP. Paints. I was gonna get the FLCL freaking eyebrows. I was gonna put the Fooly Cooly eyebrows on him. It didn't work though. Paint sucks. Hang on. Hold on. We'll just put the whole thing on there. What is it doing? Oh my goodness gracious. This is why I use GIMP, chat. There you go. Perfect. I need a drink. I'll be right back. Alright. Got my drink. This is someone's sleep paralysis demon. You're welcome. The bee drove him to get a drink before 3 p.m. Yep. There we go. There's your cute uwooby. Imagine not saving that. I mean, it'll always be in the Twitch VOD. I can get it from there if I have a dire need. Let's see. That's done. That's done. Oh, wizard hat? Okay. Alright. Anky eyebrows, yeah. Where's the Plague Doctor Mask Man? Why is it not coming? I don't know. Let's see. What else we got going on? Chalk Garrett. What's that one? Soto convergences. Chalk. Speaking of VOD, I wanted to rewatch you talking about the person who looked into the Twitch bot viewer count change thing. Thought I saved it, but I can't find. I wanted to, wait, hold on. I wanted to rewatch you talking about the person who looked into the Twitch, such a chain, the Twitch bot viewer count change thing. Hold on. I believe you want, okay, we were talking about this on the Discord. You mean this guy? Zach Busey? What is and isn't a lurker on Twitch viewbot update? I think you might want this. So the TLDR, chat, is Twitch made a change. Now, I am fine. My viewer count has not erratically changed based on what I saw before the change, but some people have been like, oh my gosh, they're not counting lurkers, my views are so low, I can't buy milk, and it's on and on and on, right? So a lot of people are saying it's really, really bad. Fortunately, I'm not affected, but the story is thus. Twitch made a change on how view bots are detected. And one of the changes they had was that if you have multiple streams open, I've never used them. There are services you can get, and if you basically put in like, hey, I like this stream, and like I like Mukluk, and I like Mighty Teapot, I like Loranity, and you just plug those in. And then anytime one of those people go live, it instantly opens a tab for them. I don't know the name of the service, but I know it exists. And if you've got those services that have multiple tabs open, basically if now, the new thing is if Twitch sees that you have multiple tabs open, you don't count as a viewer on any of them. When I say tabs, I mean multiple streams, sorry. If you have multiple streams open, you don't count as a viewer on any of those streams. Because they don't think that you can legitimately be engaging with the stream, so you're probably just a bot. That's the thing. That's one of the big changes. So if you had a large community of people and all of them, for some crazy reason, were the types of folks that would, have a tab open for every single streamer they follow, then you might see your view count suddenly tank because of that. That's the thing. Yeah. So I linked the video in the chat if you want more details, but that's what I know. That's what I know from that. What about people not logged into Twitch? I don't know if there's... So that's like, verified accounts versus anonymous accounts. Like, for example, if right now on Twitch, according to Twitch, it says I have 500 viewers. However, in the chat, if I go to users in chat and I look at this list, it's probably going to be less than 500. Because this is how many people have got a login, right? How many of you are using a username? Like, you could just go on a computer that doesn't have a Twitch account and go to twitch.tv/Mukluk, and you can watch this stream, and it's not going to stop you, right? So the number of people that are not logged in almost always outnumber the people that are logged in. Like, that's a thing. The lurkers are the people that outnumber the royalty, and if they choose to rise up, God help us, because they outnumber us 10 to 1. That's been normal forever, But yeah, again, a lot of what I'm saying is from like, the grapevine. This has not affected me. I'm fortunate in that regard. I have not seen my viewer count change in any way other than the way it normally does, If I play Guild Wars 2, I usually get a lot of viewers. If I play something else, it's usually half that. And that has not changed for me since that they did this. So I do not think I have very many viewers that were watching multiple streams at the same time. But there are other people that are affected to the point that there was all kinds of rumor milling going on, like, oh, they don't count lurkers as viewers anymore, oh, they're not counting you if you don't chat in 3 minutes, oh, and all of this was just like, people were trying to figure out what was going on and making up theories, and then the theories were spreading, and then Twitch finally had to be like, no, that's not what it is at all. So, now we can talk about whether you think that's like a good change or a bad change, but that's, as I understand it, what is going on. Let's see, 247. Nice, first try. Lurkers have rights. The lurkers are still getting counted. If you are watching a stream, so the problem is if you are lurking on like 3 streams at once, that's when it doesn't count you. But if you're just watching one stream and you're lurking, it still counts you, is my understanding. Wait, which lane did I join? North, Radonovus, okay. I just clicked the first one on the list. What you're saying is that your viewers are loyal and not cheating on you? I remember one day Shugo sent me a screenshot of him, and he had like 30 tabs open. So Shugo's not loyal. The other 499 of you are. Shugo will cheat on me with anyone that looks like an anime girl. Like, I'm not just the other woman. I'm like the other times 50. What about 2 persons in one household watching 2 different streams? That's an excellent question. So I think if you have, I don't know if it's 2 or more or if it's 3 or more, but if you have some number of people in the same house, like, you know, with the same possibly IP that are watching Twitch, it might not count any of them once you go above, I don't know if it's either 2 or 3. But that is guesswork from me. That is guesswork. Again, there's been a lot of rumor milling on this, and I've already linked the video for people that want as close to a credible source as I can provide you. That would screw drops for me and my husband. I would hope not. Someone in chat did just say, I think it's based on IP. And if it's based on IP, then each individual device in the house would be a separate thing. And that would be fine. And honestly, I think that's the way it should be. You know? Like, I think it's reasonable to be like, okay, if you've got 5 tabs open, you're not actually devoting attention to 5 streams. You're probably just watching 1 or 2 and supporting the others, so you're not going to count as a viewer. But if you got like 3 separate people on 3 separate computers watching 3 separate streams, I do think they should all count. But whether or not that's what's actually happening remains to be determined. Where was that link? I'll drop it again, just a second. This guy's YouTube channel, this guy, you know, he is a small to medium-sized content creator, but his whole thing is news related to like Twitch and YouTube and streaming changes. Like anytime, like it's kind of like what I do with Guild Wars 2 stuff, he does it with streaming. He's a good guy to subscribe to if you enjoy like knowing about this kind of stuff. Judging the ADHD people watching 6 streams simultaneously for entertainment, 1/6 of the screen for each stream. I get it. I get it. Oh, there's the first bee I've seen in the wild. Bee. You know the not the model, the wireframe of it? I wonder if the bee frame is the same as the little dragonfly thing we're getting. You notice how, like, it occasionally, like, it twitches, it does like a 180 and looks behind it? I'm pretty sure we saw the dragonfly thing from VOE doing all of those same movements, right? So I'm pretty sure it's using the same frame. I think the hummingbird frame does that too. Really? I don't have the hummingbird skin. Dragonator says the way home Wi-Fi works, all devices connected to the same Wi-Fi get one single IP seen by Twitch. So if you have 2 people watching Twitch at the same time, each watching only one stream, they're both on the same internet IP and neither are counted. So that's specifically Wi-Fi. That would take, you know, the easiest way to test that would actually be to take a streamer that usually gets 0 viewers and then open up their stream on your phone. Does the view count go to 1? Then open the stream up on like an iPad. Does it go from 1 to 2 or does it go from 1 to 0? So you would actually need like a new account or like a streamer that's just starting out to really test this. To the outside world, your modem is your IP regardless of Wi-Fi or wired. Me watching Twitch with my ultimate ADHD form. Do I want to click this? Clearly you took some Tylenol. See, now the joke has layers. Oh, do you have any thoughts on how ANET could fix the quickness and alacrity situation in Guild Wars 2? I mean, yeah, sure. Didn't I post a YouTube video on this just a couple days ago? Yeah, I mean, there's different things they could do. Like, okay, we're just spitballing here while we stare at a wall, right? Hang on a sec. Okay. How to fix quick alack situation. First off, does ArenaNet even think there is a situation? Assuming they do, could delete quickness and alacrity and just say get over it. This is the hardball option. Could remove quick alack but bake it into skills baseline, perhaps at a reduced rate. Example, instead of 50% speed boost quickness with Boon, now you get 30% all the time, and the Boon doesn't exist anymore. That's just an example, right? Assuming the situation is too many boons from one source, which we discussed recently, you could say that if you take a trait to provide quick alack, you lose the ability to provide another boon or boons, so that group composition is not so loaded onto the support. Again, so a lot of this is if, right? This is a lot of, does ArenaNet even think there is a situation here? Like, a related topic is stacking, aka Boon Ball, right? The reason this exists is 1, healing, 2, boons, 3, in World v World, dividing incoming damage. So if you made it so that the healing and boon radius were massive, if you drastically increased healing boon radius, this would allow ranged to stay at ranged while melee stayed in melee in PvE. But in World v World, people would still stack to divide incoming damage. Most player hits cap at 5 targets. If you are in a pile of 50 people, it is hard to get hit by consecutive attacks. Okay, things like that. So, those are my thoughts on this, just just off the top of my head. The most important thing here is this right here. Does ArenaNet even agree that there's a problem, or are they happy with it? And if they do think there's a problem, which problem? Do they think it's a problem that quickness and alacrity exist? Do they think the way that we make groups is a problem? Like, are they proud of that? Like, in World of Warcraft, there's tank, heal, DPS, right? In our game, it's heal that provides an essential boon, DPS that provides another essential boon, and 3 DPS. And then there's a couple fights in the game where you need a tank, but not many, but usually the healer just has to do that too. So, and then if the problem we're talking about is the stacking in the boon ball, then it's the stuff down here. So it's kind of like ArenaNet's never really talked about the meta in that regard. So if, for example, we've got that new group finder thing, right, for tier 1 fractals. If they were going to make that work for tier 4 fractals, it needs to actually check rolls. And if they're going to add a roll check, they better be proud of the roles this game has, you know? That they have to basically commit to saying, we recognize our game is heal alack or heal quick, DPS alack or DPS quick, and 3 DPS, because they would have to put those into the roll finder, you know? And there would have to be some separation, because if you got a group that had a heal alack and a DPS alack, then it's just like, okay, well, shoot. So if they are actually going to embrace it, they have to just actually do so and not just keep beating around the bush about it. Unless they're just going to continue not talking about it, and then we just only get the group finder for tier 1 stuff, where it doesn't matter. Do you think it needs to be worked on? I think this game is my favorite MMO, and it is fantastic. I do not think it's perfect. I do think we could make it better by overhauling the boon and the stacking system. To give you an example, when I am showing off the game and making videos targeted toward getting more people to play this game, when I show a fight of the Shatterer, I show noobs fighting the Shatterer. I want to see the NPCs going, use the glider and drop bombs, and some idiot like, okay, and someone else like, this mortar, how does it work? And people are just scrambling all over the place. It looks beautiful. But if you get 50 experienced players fighting the Shatterer, it looks like the most boring thing I've ever seen. They're all stacked on a toenail, and you can't see anything else happening. And then the dragon dies. So I think the game would look more fun if you did not have the stack on a point,
the
right?
_water _ gifted a tier 1 sub to Viper _ of darkness. They have given 6 gift subs in the chat.
You have a long name, Sisu. Thank you, Sisu. Appreciate that. Additionally, another thing about the Boon Ball in World v World is when like a Guardian puts up a bubble that blocks projectiles or something, there's no cap on it. It can block 6,000 attacks. Taking inspiration from like Reinhardt in Overwatch with his big shield, make it break after like 20 hits, okay? That would have no effect at all on one-on-one fights in PvP. But in World v World, you would not have one guy protecting 50. I think that those should break after a number of hits. Like a few hits, and then you see cracks on the dome, and then a few more, and it shatters or something. I would love that change also. But again, it's a really big thing of, does what I think would be good for the game, does that match what ArenaNet thinks would be good for the game? Or even you guys, you know? Like, I could say delete Thief, and some of you would be upset. I mean, you should be upset. You know, stuff like that. The LFG matchmaking might be all tier 0 stuff, with like Baby's First Raid. Just keep surviving people, so no healers. Yeah. I'm a very new player to higher level content, yours too. The stacking is really sad to me. The fact that I have to get so close to spread boons is sad. Yeah, and it does depend on your class. Like, if you play a Herald, their radiant... Here, you know what? Hold on. I've got a tool for this. Okay. Let me see something here. I need... Blish, I need your help for this. Where's the rings? Okay. I think it's... Is it 240? Hold on, I'm range checking something. Yeah, okay. This is the radius a druid gives alacrity most of the time. I said most. Okay, most of their alacrity skills are this radius, okay? This is Herald and Bladesworn. That's the difference between the two. Okay? Now, Herald, for many fights, like if you've got someone running around and kiting around, like if you're fighting Sabbatha and you've got a flat kiter, you're still giving the flat kiter boons if you've got like a Herald or a Bladesworn. But if you've got a druid, the flat kiter is not getting boons. But hey, I mean, 600, yo, make it 1,000. IMO. I would not be upset if you deleted Antiquary. Hold on, who's hitting me right now? It's friggin' Mordrum Wolf. I will say though, the thing is like, we are talking about these ranges, right? Let's pretend that healing has infinite range as long as you have line of sight and you're grouped with the teammate, right? Hey, thank you. Let's pretend that you've got infinite range on your heals as long as you have line of sight and you're grouped with the target, okay? How does the healing work? Would it be you have to target the person like World of Warcraft? Do you still have to target the area around them like this? Do they have to be within a reticle like this? Or is it just you cast a heal and it hits X closest teammates or something? Yeah, I don't know. Like you hit button and like while I'm channeling this, the 5 closest teammates are getting healed per second, no matter where they are. You know, like those type of things we would have to think about. We would have to figure those things out and come to terms with something. And it might not be the same for every class. Muck, can you do Octavine twice in one session? Yes, Octavine is a rare type of meta where every time you do it, as long as you participate, you reset the rewards and you still get 99% of the rewards on consecutive times. Are they concerned that people will be out of a boss's range? The boss will spend too much time bouncing between players? I mean, typically, bosses that chase players usually go for the ones... Okay, hold on. There are bosses that will chase the farthest away person, like Samurag, and you would not want to be spread all over the room for that, because it would make the boss go crazy, and I think that's fine. But then there's also bosses that will chase a tank, like Veil Guardian, no matter what. So it doesn't matter where everyone else is, it just matters for the tank, the person with the highest toughness. We're down to the end pieces, but I've got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Bon appetit, thank you. Greetings, everyone. Hi, Drought. I will say, one of my favorite games as far as different roles for healers was EverQuest 2. EverQuest 2, there was one healer that specialized in just big heal, which was just like casting, full heal, you know? There was kind of like a paladin in World of Warcraft. Then there was other healers, like which were druids in EverQuest 2, which specialized in heal over times. In this game, I think that would be more of the Tempest, but heal over time, just lots and lots of hots on you. Then there was other healers that specialized in wards, which I believe was shamans in EQ2. But wards was kind of like barrier in our game. It was a healer that specialized in trying to prevent you from ever getting hit in the first place. But if you got hit, they could heal you, but it was not as exceptional as the others. And I really liked that each of the healers had things they were good at and things they weren't. Like, I think that's good for a game. Because if everyone can do everything, then there's no point in having different classes. There should be some differences. Disc Brace? Yeah. WoW Disc Brace had the shields, which is like our barrier, which is like EverQuest 2 wards. Hey guys, pseudo new player here. Thinking about getting Blish HUD. What do you guys think is the most quality of life or mandatory modules? What's up, Baron? For me, the mount wheel. It's called Mounts and More. I hold down X, mouse over a mount, release X, so I can get to all my stuff from a single button. I couldn't even access my mounts without this at this point in time. I'm too used to it. That one for me is essential. I also enjoy Event Table. This just lets me see all the events currently happening in game. And then this is just really handy. Those are two that I use on a daily basis. Muck, do you still hate the change the Lac Druid is from CA and not from Spirit anymore? 2-2, to be specific, I wasn't a fan of either of those. So, the issue... Okay. The issue is that before, we had to spam spirits every time they came off cooldown to keep Alacrity on a party. And then, they said, we don't want you to have to spam your skills for this. And we're like, yay! And they're like, so we put it on Astroform. And we're like, what? That's worse. So now we have to spam all our biggest heals when you do not need them. And our ability to glyph revive you and get, we have to burn that to give you Alacrity. So, because we're forcibly going into Celestial Avatar to give you Alacrity, that basically kind of makes it like a heartbeat monitor. We're a good healer, we're a bad healer. We're a good healer, we're a bad healer. And if you got a problem when I'm leaving Astral, sorry, I can't save your life. I gave you Alacrity recently. Right? It's stupid. So, not a fan of that. I don't think it should be from either of those. I don't think it should be from Spirits or Astral. How do you install Blish HUD if you play through Steam, or is it not possible? I don't know anything on that. I would recommend the Blish Discord for asking that question. They're super nice and they answer questions, but I've only used Blish through the standalone client. So I couldn't walk you through setting that up. Couple people saying it works for them on Steam just fine on both channels right now. But yeah, to try to break it down, I'm of the opinion, if you've got a button that you would need to, that is beneficial to save for emergencies, I think it is stupid to have to spam that button to give boons. Is that clear enough? Heal Scrapper suffers from this a lot too. Heal Scrapper's self-heal, function gyro, res for other people, and their Aegis all provide protection. And you have to burn those skills to provide protection. So you have to be very careful of when you refresh it. So in the case of Druid, we've got this form that's kind of like a weapon swap on a long cooldown that makes us a giga healer, right? I want to save that for when I need to do big healing. I don't want to just have to burn it every 10 seconds to give you alacrity. I think the alacrity should be moved to something else. Like, you know, hell, you could put it on like weapon skills or pet swap or something. I don't know. I hear you on the CA changes, but I disagree a bit. You do still have a massive amount of healing out of CA. It's not like you're just dead if you're out of it. I didn't say you don't have any healing. I said you're a worse healer. Or I might have said bad healer, but you're a worse healer. You're a worse healer. It's kind of like if you're a Tempest and you just left water and then your team has an emergency because they stood in a red circle. Well, you can use Wash the Pain Away, but you really need to get back to water to stabilize them. And there's a cooldown. I love you, Muck, but you sound like my manager. Same mannerisms, same word choices, and guess what? He was a QA as well. You need to start talking in high-pitched, squeaky voice and use bro. When I think bro, I think like, bro. Not, you said high-pitched, squeaky, bro? Bro! What's up, my man? Most people are happy to have me in their groups as I am. Yeah, so that issue is kind of with Heal Lack Mech too. Heal Lack Mech has a skill called Crisis Zone. It gives stability, it gives Aegis. That is their only stability and their only Aegis. If they use one of those, they're both on cooldown. Well, I guess they can have one more Aegis if they get it from the short bow. But if they use that button, all of the other things that button does is on cooldown also. Do that voice for the rest of the stream? I don't think I could do that for the rest of the stream. I think we would lose it. I don't know, that voice sounds too close to Herbert from Family Guy.
We can settle this like responsible young adolescents. Whoever can swallow the most Tylenol PM wins. Now where's that muscly on paper boy?
Anytime I do that voice, my wife leaves the room. Luckily, she was not already in the room. Yeah, that's what you're asking me to do right now. Mug decided to be evil tonight? Nah, just not holding back. Not good, not good, not good. Ah! Jade bot. What? It's vulnerable. But I'm fighting frogs. Freaking EU ignoring the frogs. Now what if that frog comes over here and gives us a bad time? Pack in the streaming malarkey muck. You have a promising career waiting for you in voice acting. Yes. Be coming to work tomorrow wearing a monocle. People like, please, sir, please voice in our game. You would be perfect for the role. I'd be like, you can't afford me. I don't want more Anise voice acting. Okay, the Anise one, I was trying to do Marge Simpson for Anise. Commander, you don't understand! I got the Scepter of War! It's so powerful! Like, that was not me giving it 110%. That was me just turning it down to like -2. Sounded like 200 to me? No. We have different grading scales. Oh my god, I'm lagging so bad in this spot right now. How many people have recommended the new Final Sentence demo for Swiggy Month? One. You. If this is a recommendation. Alright, see? To the person who was like, wait, you can loot these again? I'm looting them again. Except possibly, the Hero's Choice chest I think won't drop a second time today. That's it. I have to say I'm more of a South Park person than a Simpsons person. I would say between the two, I'd pick South Park also, but I haven't watched either in years. Unless I just see like a funny clip online or something. I just found out you can get iron logging axe from the bags that enemies drop. Lucky you. This guy bragging about his iron logging axe. Pet Chip. I can't pet Chip. I don't know where he's at right now. Don't you need orichalcum tools for endgame? Yeah. You can give the iron axe to your son. Pass it down the Armstrong family line for generations. Remember the good old days we could taxi into other maps to loot 7 or 8 times? Yeah, that was before my time, but I've heard about it. Apparently there was a time period, chat, where like you beat Octavine and you could loot all the chests and then swap to another map and loot all the chests and swap to another map and loot all the chests. And just keep doing that until you ran out of maps. So now you have to have done like at least 1 point of damage during the meta and you have like a percentage of participation to get the chest to reset now. Wait, what? Final sentence is a typing battle royale. You type on a typewriter while someone sits over you with a revolver. Wait, what? 3 mistakes and then you start playing Russian roulette. 1 player wins, the others are shot. What? Is this like a video game or just like you live in Detroit? Like what? Like what are we talking about right now? It's a video game. That's crazy. Let me ask you a question though. When you type, what if you type and you make a mistake and you backspace, fix it, and then keep going? Does that still count as like an error and you get in trouble? You don't backspace, it auto starts the line. I don't know how good I'd be at that. I can type very fast, but I do periodically make mistakes, and I'm in the habit of you know, backspace, fix, and move on after that. So I don't know how well that habit would translate to that game. Mug, does yours too have parry or block with counterattack follow-up? There are some skills that have that, yeah. Warrior Staff, the 5 button, is called Bullet Catcher, and you like twirl the staff in front of you, and you know, enemies, you know, you'll block incoming hits, and then if you hit the button again after blocking a hit, you will do a counter that's really big. Revenant Greatsword has a move like that too. Granger Greatsword has a move like that too. Yeah, there are some skills that basically like block everything for a second or two, and then if you successfully block something, you hit the button again, and it does like a counter. No, not like Dark Souls. No, like buttons with a cooldown. You're a hacker. Keep typing and nobody dies, yeah. Hold on, what was the name? Was it Final Sentence? Hang on a sec. I open it and immediately see some guy get shot. Oh my god! Dude, how can they afford all these guys to stand around with guns? They've got a payroll. They got that many people on payroll? Oh my god. Together the players, you find yourself in a hangar with the typewriter in front of you and a revolver loaded with a single bullet at your temple. Every mistake can be fatal, only one will remain. Dude, one of the lines is press F to pay respects. Is there punctuation in these? Wait, one of them is hide yo kids, hide yo wife. One does not simply walk into Mordor. These are all memes. All the lines are just memes. Oh my goodness. That's a free demo. I'd be willing to try it out. Everyone on Steam downloaded tried to beat Muck. It's possible. Again, I can type fast, but I make mistakes and then I correct them. So in that game, I don't know if I'd be good or not. Might be trash. What if nobody makes mistakes? Does it just kill the slowest people? Or do you just go another round until someone messes up? If someone finishes first, everyone else dies. Wait, what? Everyone else just dies. Look at me. Whoa, not reading that out loud. Hi, Wampa. Ten man res. I'm reading it out loud in a public space really loudly. Oh god. That that reminds me of that Pippa clip. What was it? There was a clip of a VTuber chat where someone was like, "Yo, Pippa, I really enjoy your content. I'm watching you at max volume right now in a Brazilian McDonald's," and she's like, "This." And she goes, "Hang on a second," and she pulls over Google and she Googles she Googles like translate "I have a bomb" to Portuguese, and then she just started screaming like "Tenho una bomba," and they're like, "No." I'm picturing that's Charmon right now. Mark, are you playing on EU? Yeah, I'm on EU right now. For like another hour. We can no longer afford to pay for edits, so we hired professional hitman for editors, make no mistakes. You'd think the cost of the professional hitman would be, would add up. Mike, what's the worst class in the game? Probably Ranger, Buff Ranger. I never do this event. What's the event? The benefit? I mean, I just like hitting the dragon, but it does drop some loot, and there is a chance at getting some infusions and stuff. Hey, we rose. Like, how much longer do you have to pay Flute? Wait, Flute's getting paid? Flute's here just for the love of the game, and the game is tormenting me. Do you see how much she bullied me in Repo? She has won many a giveaways over the years, so she's gotten some yarn money from me, I guess. Not enough yarn money. Thoughts on Mesmer mains? It depends. Do you make portals to make other people's life a living hell? If so, I think you should get a lifetime ban after doing that for the second time. If you are just a more normal human individual that plays Mesmer, then we're fine. Execute. Yo, I said give them a lifetime ban after the second strike, and this guy over here is like, get the guillotine. No. Jadebot. But the guillotine is nice. Oh, is it? Definitely lifetime ban from all MMOs for Mesmer puts portal on top of a jumping puzzle and chest. I do think little things like that, where people are like pushing the envelope, like how much can I torment other people and get away with it? I do think they could do to be stricter about stuff like that, but I'm not in charge. What? I clicked use portal, nothing happened. I guess I hit the cap for how many people used it. Mike, do you have someone who manages your YouTube videos? I have an editor that I pay to edit videos. They do not like manage my YouTube. Like they don't have a login to mess with my YouTube account. So I've got the main YouTube channel, which is called MuklukYoutube, because I was really great at naming channels back then. MuklukYoutube, like the only people that can mess with it is me and my wife. So like, for example, I might have videos prepared to go live every day this week, and my wife is in charge of just hitting the go live button on those days. She has like a calendar. But everything else, like making the video, uploading the video, description, thumbnail, all that's me. The second channel, Mukluk Plays, is me and my wife, and there is a fella in our community named Birdtree that's been a huge help. Just, you know, he just volunteers to do a lot of, not like editing, but like taking footage and just cutting it up into like 30-minute episodes, just like cut. And they will handle that. So all of the uploads, because like in a given week, we might upload like 50 episodes to Mukluk Plays of stuff in different playlists. And that one's multiple people. And put in the to be continued line. I don't know if you're joking or not, but in my very, very early episodes, I used to edit every episode, so at the end it said like, you know, to be continued in episode 3, stuff like that. But doing just that one little tiny edit actually added a lot of time because it would have to re-render, you know, every full episode. So I ended up stopping doing that because no one really cared. You can schedule vids. So the reason I don't do that is usually what I'll do is when a new video is made. Hang on a second. All right, so here's our Discord, right? Here's Sugo sending me something. Early access videos, I will put them here, and then patrons and Twitch subs will see them 2 weekdays early. And then there's public early access videos And here, people that are just anyone who's on the Discord will see them 1 day early, just to reward them for being in the community. And then they go public on YouTube the next weekday. And if I schedule them to be released, then it will not let them be watched while they are in early access. So I can never use the scheduling tool, basically, because of just how we've got it set up. Hold on, I re-res these. GG! Nice. Oh my god, you have so many notifications. Alright. These top, like, 4 Discords, I talk in a lot. These others, not so much. I just don't want to insult people by leaving them. I use, like, 4 Discords on the regular, and it's hard keeping up with that. How do I, as a sub, get the non-public early access? If you are a subscriber on my Twitch or a Patreon patron, you just need to connect your Patreon account to the Discord, or connect your Twitch account to the Discord. In Discord, go to Settings, and then look for, like, integrations, and you should be able to connect it. And yeah, that should be it. The Discord will pick up that you're a sub, even if it's a Prime, if you got gifted a sub, doesn't matter, and you should get the extra channels. Muck folders, please. No, I don't need it. Everything is exactly where I need it to be. All right, hold on. What did Shugo message me about? What? 1% of Georgia needs to watch this video. Hank Green. Wait, what? Shugo, what is this about? Hang on a sec. Okay, I don't know. Where do you like Muck? I like Muck no matter where I'm at. What do you mean, where do I like Muck? That's a great use of patron tag, to be honest. We try. Yeah, it's actually cheaper to become a patron than it is a Twitch sub. So I try to plug both of those and give them both, like, the rewards, like early access to things I create and stuff like that. It's either something sciencey or something political. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what this is about. Hold on. Let's watch. Hold on. I want to see like 5 seconds of this and see what he says. All right, Hank. What do you want?
Hello, I'm Hank Green, and there's a fairly good chance that someone you know sent you this video because you live in Georgia. And I needed to talk to you because a very small number of you have the chance to make a very large and, I think, quite positive impact. And if you stick with me for even half of this video, you are going to understand something that almost nobody understands. I think for something to be commonly understood, it has to be 3 things. Important, not too complex, and interesting. Public service commissions are important, they're not too complex, but they are extremely...
Okay, we're 30 seconds in, and he still hasn't said what the problem is. So someone needs to teach this man how to get to the point. We can't see it. You didn't need to see it. He's just a pasty white guy like me, and he's just talking, and he's not getting to the point. Oh, I'll check it out later, I guess, because I don't know how long it's going to take for this guy to actually talk about what he's talking about. Do you ever get that bug where an enemy is aggroed on you and then just runs back and forth in place trying to reach you? No? Are you hacking? No, I have not had that. I don't know what that is. I do not know what that is. He gets paid by the word. He is a YouTuber. You know how we are. Gotta inflate it. Invest in Bitcoin. Oh my god. You live in Georgia. Buy my Georgia coin. If only we knew someone with a lot of Hank stances that loves the way he talks about subjects in a non-insulting way. Wait, if only we knew someone who does get to the point videos that could help the man, right? He'd probably be like, no, that would shorten the videos. I'd get paid less. I have an Age of Wonders 4 question. Can you help? I could try. I'm rusty. I haven't played Age of Wonders 4 in a few months. So you're welcome to ask me, but I can't promise that I'll know at this point. I'm rusty. I still need to play the last few DLCs they did. How do you get the zone name to scroll up on screen, show up on screen like that? That's a overlay called Regions of Tyria. Here's a link to it if you want it. It's about Georgia Power. Georgia Power? Oh, electricity? Oh. I really, off the top of my head, don't know anything weird about our power system. I know Texas, like within the United States, Texas is famous for having the stupidest electric grid ever. It's like not connected to the rest of the US or something. Like they've got their own. And then like it goes down every time they, like every time there's storms or something, they all lose their power. So like that one has a reputation to the point that even I know about it. Pog, thanks. Sure, Silver. Our redeem's not working. I tried snail and chip redeems, but nothing happened. I think the redeems that do sound effects are currently turned off. The quest is, do you need to do stories to get Pantheon points? Or do you need to win the game? Or can you just get points playing? I think you just have to play a game to completion. Okay, I know if you win a game, you get Pantheon points. But if you play to completion and you lose, I don't know if you get them. You might have to Google that. But I do know just winning a match gets you a bunch of points for the Pantheon. I do remember that. I would love longer edited videos of playthroughs. Sometimes the large playlists are daunting. However, I know the budget and time isn't there for that. Perhaps I should learn to edit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just different things. Like the main channel has the, hang on a sec, YouTube, MuklukYoutube, and YouTube, Mukluk Plays. So the main channel has got all the stuff that we edit, basically. There's very little that's on this channel that is not something that we edited a lot. Like this one, oh my god, there's a lot of editing in that one. And then Mukluk Plays is just neatly organized for binge watching. So Mukluk Plays, if I go to playlist here, you can click on any of these and just watch the full playthrough of any of these games. Or as much as I did on it. So like even if I, for example, Hades has 112 videos so far. Hades I have played on like 50 different days, but all of it's nice and neatly organized into this playlist. So if you wanted to watch this, here it is for your binging pleasure, you know? Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to hit the back button. There we go. So yeah, if any of you are interested, if you don't already know about it, you can go here. There's like over 10,000 videos on this channel. You can go here, click on any of these, and just binge watch to your heart's convenience. And there's I love that we've got this, because like someone would be like, oh, Muck, I'd love to see you play Hollow Knight. And I could be like, I did. And I can send them the link, and they can binge watch Hollow Knight, even though it was years ago. So it's all still there. Your Days Gone playlist is a bit wonky. Wonky? Let me see. I mean, if there's ever an issue with the play, like rarely people report. Okay, I'm looking at the 10, 11, 12. All right, good morning, game. Shut up. Rarely someone will be like, hey, Muck, these episodes are out of order or something, and usually I just fix it instantly. So if you see something weird about it, just let me know. I don't see anything unusual. Hey, 69 episodes. Nice. I was hoping Corsa Carcosa got an entire video devoted to that final stream. I mean, it is going to get the last episode, but yeah. Yeah, so we've got a lot here. The way that I structured this channel was inspired by Co Carnage's channel. Did you see the bee skin? I did see the bee skin. Yes, I did. Yep. Okay. Let's close that. Need your eyebrows on it. And an ooh-woo face. We did that as well. Ooh, am I on a map that's doing this? Yes, I am. Okay. Turtle. It's turtle time. Lamau Muck, I remember you talking about Mini Muck saying, I know everyone finds that number funny, but I don't know why. Yeah, it's the funny number. Mom won't tell me why, though. Yep. Muck, will you try Deep Rock Galactic Survivor again? It came out 1.0, they added Twitch integration. Oh shoot, did they? That was a fun game. What does the integration do? Just like spawn more monsters or something? Alright, now assuming he doesn't land stunned like last time and die in 2 seconds, we're gonna want to be heal druid for this. What do you recommend I do after daily strikes and fractals? My favorite content Guild Wars 2 is 5+ group content. Fractals and strikes. Dungeons aren't that active. Dragon response missions aren't that active. You... I mean, I'm doing open world stuff right now. You could do that if you enjoy that. But it sounds like you're already exhausting the thing you like, unless you want to get into raids. Green numbers! This is one of the rare instances I really get to use Ranger Staff 5. So Ranger Staff 5 has a very small hitbox, but it has no target cap, which is extremely rare. So like, if I do it, it will put regen on every... You see all the numbers? It puts regen on all of them for a few seconds. Because there's no target cap on the skill. Whereas most skills cap at 5 targets. Poor Claw of Jormag, no one respects him anymore. Yep. And one more Glyph of the Stars to the road. Just to keep rezzing everyone that goes downstate here for the next few seconds. Let's see. Self stats. 12.8k HPS for that fight. 25 damage. As I couldn't melee him. That's higher HPS on that fight than I usually put out during Bone Skinner. But there's a lot more targets there. Yeah, this skill right here, it gives regen to anyone who passes through it, but it's just got that really thin line. But if everyone's stacked like that for Claw of Jormag, it hits like a ton of people, and there's no target cap on it. I added V-Rising Oakvale as a suggested game. They released a new free expansion, included auto-pulling items from storage, but you have to unlock it. Nice. Clearly they took my suggestion. I actually played Oakvale normal mode with Boy off stream. We didn't spend a lot of time in it. We just kind of blasted through it. And it was fun. So I cleared it on normal. I never did a brutal run of it like how I beat Brutal Dracula. Are the Claws of Jormag technically Oreen's cousins or Aunt's uncles? I think the Claws of Jormag are like the lieutenants of Jormag. It's like a summoned thing of Jormag. I don't even know if it's like sentient or if it's just like almost a mindless creature. Why do you think ANET won't allow us to craft multiple things of an item in the Mystic Forge? What? What do you mean? Do you mean like a stack at a time or something? Because like it depends on the recipe. There are some recipes that you can make a stack at a time. Also, they made the redo thing. That didn't used to be there. So now you can just like make thing, refill, forge, refill, forge, refill, forge. So it has been improved in the last few years, but I don't know exactly which recipe you're talking about. Quick question for everyone. I took a break before EOD, came back, made a new character, and have been running through the story. Only problem is I remember pretty much all of it, and it's starting to feel like a slog to me. Should I just skip back to EOD on my new character and do the past story when I feel in the mood? Willy Wonka, you can. Most of the stuff you get through the story, well, not most, but, you know, you get, like, gliding and you get mounts and stuff like that, but if this is your second time through, you already have that stuff. So you could just jump straight to the stuff that you don't know, and then come back and do that later. I mean, you don't even have to come back and do that later. Like, for example, my Ranger is my character I've played the most, right? And my Ranger was not my main when End of Dragons came out. So I never did End of Dragons as a Ranger. I did that on my Engineer, because I was playing Mechanist at the time. So I just played up to EOD, and then skipped EOD, and I did Soto and Janthier on this character. Like, you don't have to do the whole story again every time you make a new tune, unless you just want to. That's totally up to you. I'm doing World v World for the Vision items, so I don't have to go back to the story for those achievements. Yeah, some of the reward tracks for PvP or World v World can get you an item needed for Aurora or Vision that will save you doing like 30 achievements. Like, I think, was it Star to Guide Us? That one was especially nasty. There was a lot there that you needed. Have you heard of Boyce? He's a good ranger. You could learn from him. I do. Yeah, Boyce is one of the best PvP rangers I know. I raid him on Twitch from time to time. I have silently watched his stream from time to time. He is far better than I am at PvP. I do enjoy his content. Promoting materials would be a nightmare without the refill button stacks. Yeah. You know, hey, something that's like really weird in game that a lot of people know about. All right, so you're at the Mystic Forge, right? And let's say, for some reason, I need all my medallions together. Did you guys know you could do that? It doesn't rearrange them in your bag, but you can move things around in this screen. And I didn't know that for so many years. Like an embarrassing amount of time. I did not know for years that you could reorganize this. So for the couple people in chat that were like me and you didn't know that, there's a random tip for you. Does it remember? No, it doesn't. But if you're doing a whole bunch of stuff, like back to back to back to back, see the medallions are all mixed up again. If you're doing like a whole bunch of stuff, it can make your life easier to do that. But it will redo it in order of bag afterward again. I just use search a lot. That's certainly a way to do it. Especially ever since they added like stuff from your bank showing up on this screen. Does it still move when you get a new element, like when you merge medallions? Honest answer, I can't recall. It's been a long time, but be pretty easy for you to check if you wish to do so. Let's see. Muck, look at all those essences. Wait, oh, do you mean the Lux? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've got maxed out magic fine, so I just keep condensing the luck into this. I don't really know what else to do with it. Inventory toughest enemy in the game. I could go, like, probably a few more weeks before cleaning up my bag if I wanted to. You guys wouldn't let me, but I could. Hang on, what was this? Land spears for every class. Do they have different abilities for every class? Yes. Yes, every class is different with the spear. For some, it's a support weapon. For some, it's a power weapon. For some, it does, like, bleeds, and it's a, you know, condition damage weapon. Others, it's, like, utility. Yeah. Everyone got a different set of buttons with their spear. Mike, when you see PvP using Boyce's Untamed Spear build? Just because I copy a build of his doesn't mean I can play it. Look, here's part of the thing. Boyce is really freaking good, right? And because he's so good, he can go full glass cannon and get away with it, because he's very good at not getting caught in the first place. If I try a Boyce build, I might just get, like, popped. Because, you know, it's like, you know, again, full of Zerks. So I don't know how well that would work out. For Age of Wonders 4, I would really like it if they gave more weapon options for your hero during creation. Okay, again, it's been a few months since I played Age of Wonders 4, but if memory serves, there was a few options for each type, right? Like, the Defender hero would be, like, sword and board. The Death Knight hero, or, like, the Spellblade and things like that, they would maybe use, like, a two-hander. And then there was, like, the Caster hero, which would use either, like, a staff or, like, a focus item. So yeah, there was like maybe two real options for each of them. What is the best, Janthier or Secrets of the Obscure? I'm mostly asking for story and exploration. Okay, I'm gonna give you an honest answer. I love Guild Wars. I make my living loving Guild Wars, all right? I love the whole game, but your question is, what has the better story, Soto or Janthier? I have to say that I think Soto and Janthier's stories were the least good of any of the stories in the game. You know, End of Dragons was the end of a chapter. Soto was the start of a new chapter. And then Janthier is part 2 of that new chapter. So Soto and Janthier is like a whole new thing. And it was fine. For me, I much more enjoyed the new features that were added in those expansions. The new, you know, open world legendary armor, the expanded weapon proficiencies, the weapon master training, the homesteads, the spears on land, the easier to obtain sky scale, the Warclaw revamp. Like, all of that was really good and still affects how I play every day. Like, the build I'm playing right this second would not be possible without those weapon features from Soto. You know, this affects me on a daily basis. The story from Soto and Janthier is fine. It's not one I'd brag about. Muck, what is the best way to learn jumping mechanics in Sabbatha? I've done the raid a few times now, but never been the jumper, even though I'm DPS. I'm always looking at other people do it. Sluggard, you need essentially to know when to jump, right? Like, okay, at the 1 minute mark, I jump off the east platform. At the 2-minute mark, I jump off the west platform. Whatever. You need that. Now, you can have, like, it written down, or there are add-ons, like Blish HUD has an add-on in here that has boss timers, and it will tell you, like, you know, jump east in 15 seconds, you know, stuff like that. And as far as the jumping itself, you just run to the spot, someone throws you a bomb, and it explodes and launches you. You land up there, you kill a cannon, which is a really weak mob, and then you glide back down and just make sure you don't land like in the firewall or something when you glide back down. So what you're actually doing is very simple. Run to spot, get thrown up there, kill one mob, glide back. However, the hard part is just knowing where to go and when to go. And so either write your job on a post-it note, stick it to your screen, or use like an add-on or something to give you the timers. One of those. Loon says, question, started as a warrior, got all my bag upgrades from the Fractal event, but then I tried a thief and I like it more. Stick with warrior because the bag space is nice, or play thief. Both are level 80 and I'm looking at getting into Heart of Thorns soon. I would say play the thing you enjoy more, but you're gonna have to resolve the bag situation over time. I totally get you. I've had this conversation with other people before. I only have this insane bag space on my main character. My other tunes, I got like 2 or 3 bags. And they're nice bags, but I got like 2 or 3 bag slots. Like, the bag space being character specific is one of the only things in this game that's not alt-friendly, and that's how they get you to get more bags, you know, and you can buy more bag slots with gold or with dollars, but some people will you know, use dollars. So, I would say play the thing that gives you more joy, but the bag space thing, at the very least, you could take your biggest bags and move them over to those bag slots, you know? Like, if I were to suddenly start playing My Thief a lot more, he only has a few bag slots, but I could move 32 slot bags over to those slots, you know? Vashti says, I really love the story in Into Dragon, so I'm sad about that. How about the exploration? Which one has the better maps between Soto and Janther? So, I hope that you don't get upset about spoilers or anything. I'm trying to answer this as best I can. These are the Soto maps. Now, I'll zoom out a bit so it's not too detailed. But these are really pretty. This is like flying islands. And these are the remains of wizard experiments, you know? So there's an island that's desert, there's an island that's marsh, you know, etc. There's an island that's Heart of Thorns, there's an island that's Path of Fire. This is like a city. This is basically downtown Demonsville. So this place is made of depression. Like, it's like smoke in the air, it's ashy, it's like a DC comic movie over here, okay? Janther, a lot of people have said they think Janther is gorgeous. Okay, like this is like waterfalls and lush outdoor open areas and little, homey looking towns that are built into the cliffs. A lot of people have said they think that this first zone in Janther is beautiful. Janther's Century is the same kind of thing, but it's a little more run down because there's like a bunch of damage here from an explosion. And then over here, it's like, it's getting really messed up over here. So it's kind of, you start, it's pretty, and then you're going more and more toward messed upville. I was born in depression, molded by it. Yeah, basically. I mean, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I would say in both expansion, the first zone of each one is the most beautiful one, and then it gets to like, you're going toward the enemy, so it's getting darker as you go on. What's your favorite core map? I don't know if I have a favorite core map. I mean, as an Asura main, I'm fond of Radisum, the big floating cube in the sky, and that's pretty neat. Black Citadel is pretty cool too. Big old Death Star they got over there. I don't know if I have a favorite one for core. Renham says never played Guild Wars 2. Thinking of trying it. I'm enjoying the view of the Asura race, but I'm thinking of going Warrior, Guardian, or Revenant. My question is, does Asura look good or weird in heavy armor? My answer is it depends on the heavy armor. So I'm playing an Asura right now. I'm a ranger, so I'm in a medium trench coat right now. Let's see. Chat, what's some of the coolest looking heavy armor? I mean, there's the Envoy. Okay, hang on just a second. Let's see, heavy, is that refined? Perfected Envoy? Okay, hang on. So this is legendary heavy armor from raids on an Asura. Now this armor transforms when you enter combat. So if I do this, it does that. And your head looks, and now it looks like this on any race, but you know the sizes of the pieces is different. All right, and then if I, you know, leave combat, it should start transforming again. So that's that. But of course, if there's a piece that you didn't like, you could change it, right? So you could do like, you know, you could do that. You know, I of course love the wizard hats. There's a wizard hat. Oh, I think this is the Asura cultural armor. This is the electromagnetic helmet. So, like, personally, I like this helmet more than the one I showed you a second ago. But I do love the transforming armor from the neck down on Asura. But in my opinion, you can make some cool-looking heavy armors even on the little guys if you want to. There's that new helm with the metal ears. Yes. I forget the name of it, but I know where I can find it. Hang on a second. Where is it? Style. Wait. Is it no longer on the gem store? Did it get taken down off the gem store today? Crap. What was the name of it? Errant Knight. Search the word knight. Oh, there it is. Thank you. That was it. Yeah, it's like a helmet, and it's even got metal armor over the ears, and then a hood. That was it. Yeah, that was a new one on the gem store. Here's some. Check this one out. Wait, what? Titan plate? Oh, hold on, someone sent me some weird stuff. This is just a set of heavy armor someone sent me. It's almost got the... reminds me of the memes for, like, World of Warcraft shoulders. What is suffused obsidian? That... okay, so obsidian armor is the open world legendary armor from raids, right? Suffused has a special shiny effect on it, and you can get that if you want it. So, for example, open world leggy heavy armor. Now, ignore the dyes. I don't know why the helmet's currently gold and the armor's red, but that's open world leggy armor for heavy, right? Suffused, if I do this, when you enter combat, glowing runes start forming all around you. See, it's like forming like a crown of light. There's like some stuff on the knees right here. You can see some runes floating around you. It's pretty cool. It is purely a cosmetic thing. It's basically if you make the obsidian legendary armor from open world Soto, you can then do an optional additional quest that will upgrade the pieces to suffused, which has the SFX on them, if you want that. And of course, medium and light also has that. Let's see. All right, so that's the medium open world on these guys. But then if I do suffused and then enter combat, so he's almost got like a rhino horn or something up there, and then there's like the runes going around him. And you can see he's got some like on his throwing daggers on his hip and stuff like that. Might as well show light since I've showed both of the other two. So this is the light leggy open world. Again, you can dye the colors and change it, and then with suffused it does this. Yeah, so the ones from raids have the transformations. The ones from the obsidian stuff from open world, the suffused has the light effects if you want them. If you converted all your gold to gems right now, how many gems would you get? I don't know. Let's see, 7,300. No. It caps out. More than 9,999. So I don't know, between 15 and 20k, I guess, if I did that. Is Candy Corn Gobbler worth it? So Candy Corn Gobbler effectively gives you access to every booster in the game all the time. Very, very nice, but it comes with a few caveats. One, you're constantly consuming candy corn, so you will constantly be buying candy corn from the TP. Two, anytime you're holding still and just chilling in town like I am right now, all those boosters are going to be ticking down. So I feel like you're going to have a weird pressure to be active all the time. No chill, you know, no stopping, gotta go, don't want to waste these boosters. So if you're like me, you're going to constantly pressure yourself, like gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. But it is true that it gives you essentially infinite access to all of the, all of the boosters. Like, for example, if I just say, okay, use the Candy Corn Gobbler 10 times. So I got a costume, I'm just going to leave the costume. I've got 15 minutes of health regeneration, 23 minutes of 50% more XP, 6 minutes of 50% more magic find. So these are boosters I just got right now from using this 10 times. So, and if you wanted, you could go into like World v World, use this like 300 times, and then just have a lot of extra income while you're gaming. How long does the boost last? The duration stacks. I don't know how high you can stack the duration, but if I keep using it, it will keep adding to the duration. I did the math. Mux Gold is 6,771 gems. That sounds wrong, but okay. Female armor bugs the hell out of me. It protects nothing. You got like a boob window or something? Funny enough, the most played thing in Guild Wars 2 is female human. And I'm pretty sure it's because they've got that under boob armor. You can use it 10 times in one go. Effective, like, when the Candy Corn Gobbler first came out, you could not. But they changed it to a merchant window, and now you could just do this. And see, I could use it 135 times right now, and it would cost me 400 candy corn. So, if you want to, yeah, you could just do that now. Back when, years ago, like when I made the video that was reviewing the Candy Corn Gobbler, it, at that time, you had to double click it, double click it, double click it, and it was annoying. Now it's less annoying. Underboob armor is most protective, confirmed by science. I don't think so. Female armor is survivorship bias. Yeah. Everyone who's alive comes back and their shields are filled with arrows. We need to upgrade the shields. That's the problem. Human female players will probably change their minds after seeing norm females in common clothes outfit. Let's see. I am about out of time. I'm catching up on questions, chat, then I gotta wrap it up. Regular boosters can stack up to a week, I think, so I think 24-hour max is lower. I said I did the math, not that I'm good at math. Oh, okay. Let's see. Less coverage, more protection. That is the rule of fantasy games, right? Like, when you're playing Dark Souls and someone invades your world and you see them and they're butt naked, does your fear not spike? It's not the guys in heavy armor that you're like, oh no, it's the guy who's naked walking toward you with a jar on his head that you're panicking. It's the less clothes, the more danger. I remember the farthest I got in Sekiro was, there was this guy that was like, he was kind of like the filter, and I failed the filter. But it was this swordsman, and we're fighting him on top of a building. And he had 3 phases, and in each consecutive phase, he was less and less dressed. And in the last one, he had like lightning crackling over his moobs. And I was just like, oh my god. Yeah. Genichiro? Sure. I don't remember. Conan the Barbarian? Yep. I'm not planning on getting hit. There you go. I panic when I see naked guys running toward me IRL too, so it's realistic. Get in a fight, guy takes off his shirt. All right, this is gonna be a real fight. Guy takes off his pants. Oh hell no, I'm running. Yep. No. Sorry, sir, I didn't understand your game. I bought a beautiful dress for my ranger. Unfortunately, I haven't thought I had to glide over high places. Lol. My friend is a female player. She didn't realize the armor plot till she started to play. Now, the thing is, okay, I'm not playing a female character. I'm sure I could find some good armors in there, though, right? Like, I'm sure if I, like, dug through all the armors in the game, there's going to be some that I really like. Like, hang on a sec. If I go to human, female. Like that. Like, this looks pretty practical for an engineer. We've even got, like, pockets. Look, they got pockets. Girls love pockets. But then we've got, like, this. And remember the lore with Casimir. This character might not even be wearing clothes. These might just be illusions. I don't know. But that looks practical. That looks like a belly dancer. That's... I mean, okay. I can't say anything. This looks like practical for running an inn, not for being a ranger. Yeah, heavy armor everywhere important. Yes, everything's guarded. All right. I think we're 2 out of 9. I think the Guardian looks good and the Engineer looks good. We're not gonna talk about the other 7. We're not gonna talk about the others. Bits, thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. Welcome. All right. Chat, with that, I am out of time, so I need to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. I gotta step out. A couple of plugs on the way out. If you're new here, my name is Muck. I'll be back in 5 hours for the evening stream on NA if you want to join me, and I will be back for another morning stream tomorrow morning. Won't be on the Guild Wars 2 section tomorrow. I'll be doing something else, but if you want to join me, I'll be here. Hit the follow button on Twitch, subscribe to the YouTubes. Here's links to both the YouTubes, and a special thank you to the patrons. Couldn't do this without them. There's a link to that in the chat if you're interested. Just to support the Guild Wars 2 section of Twitch, I'm going to find someone to raid really quick if you want to keep watching. On the Twitch side, let me see who is here. Is Serenity here? Probably not. Because this is the exact time plus 4 minutes that she's supposed to be live, so she's probably not live. You guys know how old she is. Let's see. Peachy's live. We'll get Peachy. She's good with people. Hang on just a second. Let's see. Splash Raid. Aurora Peachy. Practicing my typing for that game where I get shot in the head that you guys were talking about earlier. Oh, she's looking at the B mount right now. There we go. All right. If you want to have some fun, get your raid emotes ready. I'll see you over there, and I'll be back tonight. See ya.